Good morning, friends. Good morning, we're back. We're back. Sorry I'm late today. My roof is leaking. We've had tons of rain and thunder and storms the last couple days. I mean, we've had rain and storms the last few weeks, but last night it's been pretty bad. We've got a bunch of flood warnings and my roof is leaking. So, yeah, I was in the closet. Coda, she's not happy about the thunder at all. But I was in the closet with her all night, and then we came out to use the restroom, and I looked down, and there was like...
New high score!
What does high score mean?
Good morning, Andy.
New high score, is that bad?
Morning.
What does that mean? Is that
How's your
break
Friday
it?
going? Hopefully good. Hopefully better than mine. Still early, but so far so good. 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 Hopefully it stays that way. I was gonna say, you don't sound convinced that this is a good morning at all. Let's manifest it. No, my roof is leaking. We've had storms since last night, so I was stuck in the closet all evening. And then we got up at like 4 a.m. I think this morning, 3:45, 4, because she needed to go outside even with the rain. And so I open the closet door and I look out and there's like plaster on my floor. And I look up and there's a wet spot up there, and I went into the attic and it looks like it's leaking through one of the like ventilation hoods or like the vents or whatever. But I put a bucket up there, like a container, to hopefully stop some of that maybe. And then filed an insurance claim this morning. So I'm exhausted. My body hurts from sleeping on the floor. Being woken up every 3 to 4 minutes because Coda heard more thunder. It's just a day. It's just a day, man. I'm tired. I would honestly like to be in bed, but I've missed so many days lately. I just wanted to do something. So here we are. Here we are. But that's why we have insurance, right? That's why we have it. Yay. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah. So today we're starting 5.5. Death unto dawn. Be a great old time. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully 14 can be a more fun distraction than the roof was. I hope so. Can't be a worse one. I mean, I guess it could be, but it'd be really hard. Really, really hard. Oh, my chocobo is about to go away. Bye, Chanticleer. We'll get him back soon. Yeah. I don't have much to talk about. I'm just tired. Really just all it is. I'm just sleepy. But we'll do 5.5 today. Like I said, no stream tomorrow, but we should be streaming on Sunday. They actually did release the playoff schedule ahead of time. So game 1 of round 2 will be on Monday. So I'll be streaming Sunday, but probably not Monday. And then we'll go from there. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, front mission 5. And then rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. But yeah, we have, well, it looks like 6 quests to get through, one of which is a dungeon. So we'll do that today. And then 5.55 is only 3 quests, but I imagine it's like 45 hours of cutscenes. So what's Sunday? Ocarina. We already beat Ocarina. 300%ed Ocarina. We should be starting Dragon Quest Builders, but I don't know if I want to start that. I don't know. We might just do 5.5 today and then 5.55 on Sunday. I don't really want to play Dragon Quest Builders for a day and then not be back to it for another week. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel on Sunday. It would be nice to just be kind of done with Shadowbringers. Totally missed Ganon's demise amount. That's okay. That's okay. We beat him up with the light arrow and the Begoron sword. Actually, we didn't use the Begoron sword because I needed to use the shield. We used the Master Sword primarily, but still it worked. Was finished. But yeah, 100% at Ocarina of Time. It's exciting. And then Dragon Quest Builders is the next game in our list. That's where we're at. I don't know what we'll do. Once we finish Front Mission 5, Final Fantasy Fridays will still exist. We might play into like continuing to play 3 games a week. I might try to do 2 redemption games at a time. Do like a game throughout the week and then switch to a game on the weekend. Have to see. I don't know. Sounds good. If Sunday is another 14-day, hopefully you feel some freedom to end today early if you're really drained. I mean, I imagine we'll get through it. It's just the 6th quest. It's just gonna be a lot of cutscenes. I just need to like buckle down and do it. That's all. But yeah. That's it. I don't know. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I gave Coda her medicine. So, and after today, no more storms for a couple days, looks like. I think so. I hope so. But at this point, I'm more worried about damage to the house than anything else. My Coda and I's discomfort will pass, but house damage will not. That has to be fixed. Having water come in through your roof is not ideal. So it's interesting because it's like not enough. Like it took me a while to figure out like where the water was coming from. I could see it in the attic. It was dripping down onto the. It was kind of even worse than that. Like as soon as I pulled down the ladder, I looked at the wood and I felt it. I was like, this feels wet. Like, why is this wet? I mean, I kind of knew why it was wet, but I was like, oh, okay, well, that's probably bad. Plus, it felt pretty humid up there comparatively, and I was like, great. And then I got up there, and yeah, the baseboard, well, I don't even know what it is. Not drywall. The like wood, but it's those panels, the like shaved wood. Anyway, that up there was like a big wet spot up there, but it was dripping like inconsistently, and I don't know if that's just because of all the wind or what, but it was bad enough to cause problems. So, and it had been going on for hours, which is probably part of it too. But yeah, it's been a mess. Anyway, doesn't matter. Insurance will figure it out. They'll send somebody out to take a look at it, and then it'll get fixed. And then hopefully, unlike last time, it doesn't take me 4 months to do it because the check got sent to the wrong location. Fingers crossed. Let's do this. Let's get to playing, shall we? I don't even know what I'm using. General 2. That's correct. General 2. What are my... no, I don't want to open up the lodestone. What is Bosom Buddies? Is it just summoning my... See your companion Chocobo to rank 10. Oh, we're at rank 8. I'm trying. And then I thought I already did the Hall of the Novice. Oh... Oh, there's a tank Hall of the Novice. I didn't even know that. Just give you a bunch of pants. I already have that ring, don't I? Oh, and I'm level 46, so that doesn't even matter anymore. Oh, I have completed that. I don't know. I guess you can redo some of the exercises and get rewards for it, so that's kind of cool. I didn't know that. I probably would have done that. Maybe in the next tank I play, maybe with the warrior, I'll do that. Because getting this level 15 gear is not bad. It's better than all the hodgepodge stuff you get early. Or don't have at all. Usually, like... Oh, we have a delivery move. Well, what? Delivery time. Is it... Let us never speak... Oh. What is this? Oh, nice. Thank you, friend. And he crafted me more jewelry. It was lovely. Take. Character upgrade. Goblin longsword and a vintage kite shield. We got some beautiful new rings. Wow, my HP went up. That's exciting. That's pretty much the Archiphant shield without the, well, it's silver instead of black, and it doesn't have the crest on it. Cool looking sword though. The vintage kite shield would have been really nice to have inside the Darkhold, yeah, for sure. For sure. Is that leopard print? Yeah, I think when you were talking to either, I think it was when your husband got home and you stepped away, I was like looking, it is in fact leopard print. I think it's, you know, curl print or whatever in this game, but yeah, it does in fact look, yep, that's exactly right. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna wear it because it's the best in slot. That's what I'm gonna do. It's the best I can do. Anyway, if you're wondering why I'm a paladin, it's because in the evenings, sometimes I've been leveling paladin, and then on Mondays we've been doing some leveling all together. So it's been good times. Been good times. I'm trying to get some of my tank skills up so that when we get into Dawn Trail and when we get into Evercold, I'll actually have classes or jobs that can make queues pop in less than 30 minutes. Although, to be fair, now that they're combining all of the data centers, I'm sure that will help a little bit, but, you know, a little. Need to get you the leopard print Speedo. Need is such a harsh word. I don't know if we need to do that. Oh, good morning, Gloria. How are you? Okay, we're back to our Dragoon self. Unto the breach. Back to Revenant's Toll. Let's get this going. I'm so tired. Hopefully Coda's medicine will kick in soon. I should have given it to her last night, but hey, look at that. She's also the Azure Dragoon, except she's not. That looks like a white mage to me. Liar. Bold lies, I know. All right, Alize, what you got? Under the breach. Alize is waiting patiently for the return of certain scions, not least of all you. Wow, Alize is impatient. Who would have thought? I think waiting patiently is sarcastic here. Good news, Dion. Thancred and Oriange have finished their tour of Garlemald and are on their way back here even as we speak. As we still haven't heard anything on the towers from the Alliance, I'm hoping they might be able to shed some light on things. They're due to arrive any moment now, so let's see what they have to say, eh? How convenient that I showed up just as they were. Gotta love it. And that protagonist timing. Ah, a welcoming party. You needn't have gone to the trouble. From what I hear, you've been more than busy enough as it is. That spear is still so happy with it. It is very nice, thank you. I'm happy with it too. I also like that when you fight with it, it has that little like halo around the blade, which is pretty cool. Honestly, you might have waited for me to return before discovering a cure for tempering. As it is, I can't even pretend to have been involved. Well, if it's any consolation, I myself was little more than a spectator. The lion's share of the credit must go to Alizé, Goraha, and Dion. But I believe I speak for the rest of us when I say we are proud to have rendered what little assistance we could. Didn't do anything, I don't think. Probably just poked something with this cool spear, honestly. As you will have also heard, though, it hasn't all been tales of triumph. Just as we were taking a step towards finally addressing the primal threat, a pile of fresh problems landed in our lap. I guess we could do a recap, but, you know, we're going to use some context clues and just push on through. Everyone here has already played this game and played past where I am, so if you have any questions, you just let me know and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Anyway, it's good to have you back, though I can't help noticing that we're one Oriange short of a scouting party. You haven't lost him, have you? Pushed him over a cliff. Oh, I couldn't lose him if I tried, and I did try, repeatedly. But no, he decided to linger in Alamigo to appraise Raban and the others of how the land lies in Garlemald. It may hap you should do the same for us. Indeed, it was just as Lee said. Worse, in fact, devastation as far as the eye could see. Nerva the Third, however, were notable and notable by their absence. Nerva and the Third, that's my fault. The Third is the division. I think Nerva is their like commander. Might they have met their end at the hands of Xenos and Fandaniel? Oh yeah, Fandaniel. What a character. Perhaps, or perhaps they simply lost the will to fight. I doubt it. You see, the capital has been plunged into a deathly silence, with one exception, the Imperial Palace. It was a busy place before the war, but it has grown busier still, with throngs of soldiers and civilians working there, or rather transform it into one of the other towers. Transform it into what? Oh no. Well, we didn't disconnect. We just had a frame drop. That's something. That usually means that we're going to have another one, but we'll find out. And we'll see. Stay with us, yeah. That is a difficult question to answer. The construction is vast and unsettling to behold, like something from a nightmare. According to Oriange, certain aspects of its design were clearly devised with the manipulation of ether in mind. Magitech, in other words. Yeah, it didn't even disconnect. It just dropped.
Who's that Pokemon?
Weird. But I'll take weird over inconvenient. Okay. I think I read this. Anyway, Magitech. They're turning the palace into a Magitech. I imagined a tower to interact or something to interact with the other towers that have been placed all over the world. Yet, as unnerving as said edifice was, it was nothing next to the sight of its builders. They swarmed the place like so many insects, working with nary a word exchanged between them. No one overseeing construction, no one barking orders. It was as if they were possessed or tempered. We wanted to investigate more closely, but given our suspicions, it seemed wiser not to take the risk. If Fandaniel could bind Bahamut to his will, might he have done the same to the people of Garlemald? Maybe. Whatever the truth may be, this information is certain to prove valuable. You have our thanks. Well, be sure to have saved some for Urianger, which reminds me, I have a message from Alamigo. Raban is hosting a meeting to discuss the latest findings on the towers, and he requested our presence. Then why not leave that to us? You must be weary from your mission. No, I'm fine. Those towers have been on my mind since I first spied one on the way back, and I'm keen to get to the bottom of this. Me too. In that case, I shall stay and begin looking into another matter, as I promised Cryo. We need not all attend. Very well. I suggest the rest of us make our way to Alamigo forthwith. The sooner we leave, the more time we will have to speak with Oriange before the meeting. I know that I've had this theory for a while as far as like tempering and how like we're already like enthralled to Hydaelyn, but like the game is very clearly building a connection between like the echo and tempering, right? Oh man, quest music is going to change soon too. I know. I'm excited for the new Dawn Trail. I haven't played the Viper or the Pictomancer, so I don't even know what the new music is. So I'm excited for that. But like, it really does feel like they're trying to draw a connection between the echo and like the Ascians are able to manipulate the echo, or not manipulate it, but simulate it, I suppose, right? Because isn't that what, not La Habrea, the other one, not Emmett Selk either. How did I forget who you were? You know, the third Ascian. The 5.3 Ascian. What's his name? It's gonna be one of those days. Anyway, he was able to like simulate the echo. Elidibus, thank you. Elidibus was able to create an echo, simulate a voice or whatever, and put that in the mind of the people of the first, gone and forgotten. In this case, yeah, poor guy, right? And Elidibus mentioned that the like everyone has the echo, more or less, right? The echo isn't a gift provided to the people of Hydaelyn. It's really just like an awakening of an existence that's already in everyone. And we also know that the Empire, Garlemald, they experimented with the echo back in 4.0 when it comes to the whole like cryo echo situation, and when it comes to the other awful lady that ended up saving us in the end because she had too much of the echo or something. Anyway, I really feel like the game's been building up towards this connection between the echo and tempering, and they just drew it like a direct connection between the people working in the palace, and they blamed it on Fandaniel. They said, you know, if Fandaniel can enthrall Bahamut, I wonder if they can enthrall all the people working there. But we've seen all this before. Like, this is not really, you know, it could just be an experimental echo dialed up to 11, so to speak. Xenos has the experimental echo placed in him too, right? And not to mention that, but he has, in his eyes, he has an Ascian mask, and we don't know why that is. And I really do feel it has something to do with a connection between this echo and, like, the echo and enthrallment. I really do. I think it's just obvious now. Not obvious, but it's, I don't know. If there's not a connection, if that doesn't all come full circle, I'm going to feel pretty surprised. Not let down, because I'm sure they'll incorporate it somehow or figure something out. Something will be, you know, done with it, but I don't know. At this point, it just seems like everything's, and maybe it's, oh, what is it called? Confirmation bias. Maybe I'm seeing what I want to see, so to speak. Maybe it's that, maybe I'm already expecting it, so I'm looking to make those connections. That could be possible too. I don't know though. It's interesting, even though the Warrior of Light got them at basically the same time. I do think they are meant to be separate, with the echo being sort of an inherent latent thing, as you've mentioned, right? The way I saw that though was it was more just like all humans or all people are susceptible to being enthralled, right? Like, when they said that the awakening or whatever, like the echo wasn't a gift, it was more an awakening, I just assumed that like no one is truly protected from enthrallment. That was really my own, that's how I'm kind of fitting it into the process, or fitting it into my thought process. But the blessing of light that protects the Warrior of Light from tempering was something Hydaelyn chose to give him. Yeah, but you know my theory on that too, unless you're just confirming it for me and telling me to shut up. Because my theory on that was that we're already tempered, right? We're already enthralled to Hydaelyn. Like, we've already been tempered with Hydaelyn. It might not be as like harsh, right? It might not be as like, I don't know, life-changing or zombifying as we've seen some of the other thralls. But my theory is just that, like, the reason we're protected against all of the other primals is because we've already become enthralled to one of the top two, you know? Like, how are we going to become a thrall to firstly, I'll finish that sentence. How are we going to become a thrall to Ifrit if we're already a thrall to Hydaelyn, right? That doesn't make any sense. That's not how that works. The only thing that you could say about it is that Dion and some of the other individuals with the Echo, especially in 4.0 at the end of like Stormbringers, or Stormblood, excuse me, we used our Echo to protect others, like in the defense of others, which is interesting. And that could be something, right? Like, you know, that could be something that would argue against my theory, is that, you know, that gift allows us to not only be protected ourselves, but to project that and to form a shield around others. And that could be a gift, but honestly, that could just be a manipulation of the enthrallment altogether. I don't know. We'll see. All right, Oriange, what do you got for us? My friends, much and more have I heard of your travails in our absence. Heartened am I to see you all hale and whole. It's no fun if all my theories are correct, right? Like, it's no fun if I'm just guessing and am always right. I'm allowed to be wrong too, darn it. I don't want to be wrong in this case. I think it makes sense, but whatever. Oh, and what else was I wrong about recently? Lots of things. So many things I was wrong about. It doesn't matter. As are we to see you safely returned from your mission, Oriange. I trust Thancred made you feel welcome. Does Thancred ever make you feel welcome? Well, if it isn't Alphino, it is Merry Band. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Ehrenwald, whatever are you doing here? When we spoke via Link Pearl, you told me you'd be away on a mission. And who's to say this isn't part of it? But enough about that. It's good to see you looking so similar. I thought you'd have grown a bit taller after a whole year in another world, but apparently not. That's a good point. I guess, to be fair, that was more like a soul projection than anything else. And so he wouldn't have really grown over there. His body probably should have grown a little bit while he was in bed over here, but you could argue, like, I don't know, nutrients, right? His body, all of his energy was going to sustaining the connection between his body and his soul. That's not unique in fantasy media or science fiction media. Well, I am sorry to disappoint you. While my soul may be a year older, my body has hardly changed, as you are well aware. Oh, that's right too, right? We don't know how long it really was. Timeline-wise, it really wasn't that long for them here in the source, just longer in the first. And may I remind you that we Elysian are known to be late bloomers, especially in terms of our height. Mark my words. The day will come when even a great Aurochs such as yourself will crane your neck to meet my eye. Look at Alphino. Gosh, I love the twins. They're so well written. It's so good. Alphino has had some of the best character development in the game, period. Like, they're great characters. 'Twas not until my 20th summer that I myself outgrew my boyish proportions, though Moonbrea towered over me nonetheless. Little Moonbrea. Ehrenwald brings out the best in Alphino, doesn't he? They both seem so at ease in each other's company. It's almost endearing. It's actually kind of funny. I like the dichotomy or the contradiction. Alphino is more of the diplomat. Obviously, you know, he helps us fight and he's been along in some of the dungeons, but like, he is a diplomat. That is his job. He is a bureaucrat. His job and his role and his, like, abilities lie in working through problems through, you know, debate and through discussion and through agreement and arbitration, right? But it seems like the people he look up to the most, Estinian, Dion, Ehrenwald, or the Warrior of Light, not necessarily Dion, they're all not that way, right? Like, they're all very, I don't want to say warlike, but they're more like a sister, which is kind of funny. I like that a lot. You can kind of say the same thing for Alizé. The people that they look up to the most, well, Dion with the exception of Alizé, but I think it's more of like a teenage crush than a real looking up to. But, you know, Matoya and the people in this first, you know, they're kind of the opposite, which I think is neat. They look up to each other, they just don't want to say it. They like don't want to point it out. So what exactly brings you here? Oh, Fordola mostly. Hey, speak of the devil. That's the person that also got the experimental echo that helped us at the end of 4.5 or somewhere in 4.x content. Oh, Fordola mostly. We need to go over a few things before we set out. Set out? Wait, does this have something to do with the towers? Eh? What gave you that impression? Actually, tell me later. You've got a meeting to get to. I'll see you afterwards, alright? If Fordola is going with him, that must mean... My apologies. As Arenvald rightly pointed out, we have a meeting to attend. Let us be about it. It also makes sense that Alphino is more close with the people who treat him like a person, like an adult with responsibilities rather than the kid that he is. You know, Stinian never really looked down on him. The Warrior of Light doesn't look down on him. Arenvald doesn't look down on him. You know, he's doing his job. He's doing a job. He has a job to do, and they respect him for it, which is cool. I hope we get more of that now from Alizé in 5.0. We got a little bit more in, or 6.0, excuse me. We got a little bit more of that in 5.x content with her doing,
Ere we begin, I would like to offer my
with her having a mission and a goal, which is cool.
Tis no small feat to infiltrate the Imperial
I'd
capital
like more, though.
and live to tell the tale, much less in times of civil war. Thanks to them, we may plot our course in full knowledge of how the winds blow in Garlemald.
Not necessarily the more characterization. I think they're getting equal footing as far as that's concerned. Obviously, we've got more of Alphino because Alphino was there during 2.0, whereas Alizé was not. And 3.0, actually. So I think we have gotten a lot of characterization of Alizé since then. What I mean is I want more of her, like... I want more relationships with her. I want her to have, like, friends outside the Scions, or, like, people that she works with or looks up, you know, whatever. Just more relationships outside the Scions.
Full glad are we to have been of service. But verily, such dangers as we did encounter pale into insignificance next to those faced by our comrades. An Ascian, armed with the might of Bahamut, bent on bringing about the final days.
What they call it, Celestial Bahamut or Lunar Bahamut? Lunar Bahamut, I think.
He sought only to make a show of the power at the Telophoroid's disposal.
Well, he did a good job, because it was sick. Lunar Bahamut looks amazing.
Since then, we have seen no sign of this Fan Daniel or his worm. And while we've done what we can to bolster our defenses, there's no telling where he might strike next.
You weren't there, Rabon.
Whenever and wherever it may be, we must use the intervening time to learn more of our enemy. 'Twas with this in mind that we dispatched scouts to investigate the towers.
Our advance party took longer than expected to return. And when they did, they tried to kill us. Luckily,
Makes sense.
I'd seen that sort of thing before, and we were able to restrain them before they did any harm. Then it was just a matter of letting the Porksies do their work.
Are you saying they were tempered?
Once they'd come back to their senses, they told us everything they could. It seems that just as they were getting close to the tower, they heard an ear-splitting roar, and that was the last thing they remembered. But what worries me most is what they were saying right before they attacked.
Oh, that's right. Arenvald has the echo as well. I keep forgetting. The echo, like, presents itself differently in everyone, right? Not everyone experiences the echo the same way. I forget that Arenvald has it, and that's why he was going to get, like, Fordola. Orion, or not Orion J, but Alphino suspected this before this could for me.
Glory be to Garlemald.
The Tempered have heretofore ever been thralls to primal entities. Yet these hapless souls were compelled to accept a nation as the object of their devotion. This calleth into question all that we know of the condition.
Kind of.
Would that the unsettling news ended there. Alas, there is more.
Of course there is.
Following the earlier reports of missing Amalja, we have learnt that other beast tribes have suffered similar losses.
They're enthralling not just
We
us.
now have reason to believe that the abductions are connected to the appearance of the towers. Our scouts sighted black-garbed figures leading shackled Ixal in the direction of the tower in Dravania. The Temple Knights were able to intercept them before they could reach their destination, liberating the Ixal and apprehending their captors, each of whom was found to be equipped with Garlean arms and armor.
We're doing a lot of intercepting,
So the Empire is the common thread.
which is good.
With the support of Xenos, it seems likely that Fandaniel has rallied a faction of the splintered Garlean army to the banner of the Telophoroi.
Lawful.
Lord Hien reached the same conclusion when I shared our findings with Doma. The plan had been to march on Garlemald from the east and west in order to force a peace treaty. But the situation has changed. Dealing with the threat of the towers must come first.
Sure.
Given the nature of the enemy and the proven risk of tempering, I could think of few suitable candidates to aid in this task. But I am confident in my choice.
Yeah. No problem. Just looking over at me like, oh, yeah. Involved in Fordola, just like we knew.
Resistant to primal influence as they are, they can investigate the towers without fear of being turned.
We are glad to put our gifts to use, Commander.
I don't know if Fordola agrees with you.
Gifted or not, going behind enemy lines remains a perilous undertaking. But we must know more if we're to strike back at our foe. I'm counting on you.
If it would give us the upper hand, I'd do it 100 times over. We won't let you down.
Oh. A bad feeling about Arnvald's future
That concludes the briefing. You two, make ready and
life.
join your escort.
Are you certain about this, Arenvald?
Probably not.
I am. Come on, let's talk outside.
I wonder why we don't use Kryl more in these situations, right? She's a Scion and has the Echo as well. Minfilia did. I guess Kryl's just kind of keeping herself separated. We haven't gotten a lot of screen time with Kryl. I imagine we're gonna get more because my theory still is that Kryl becomes the Pictomancer. I made the mistake, I say mistake, but I did watch the teaser during FanFest for Evercold, so we have confirmed that Alphino does become the Sage. So I ended up correct on that, which is good, I guess. But my theory still is that that Kryl becomes a Pictomancer. That has not been confirmed for me just yet. So I'm hoping maybe she'll get more attention paid to her. Oh, but I did this last time. Pictomancer is, I forget the two classes now. Viper and Pictomancer are the Dawn Trail classes, and then Reaper and Sage are the Endwalker classes. Is that correct? Reconnection successful. That's something. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't say that anything is critical. Just says, I mean, I can go back to not binding to an IP, but that's where I was before when all these issues were happening. I don't know. I really don't know. It's driving me crazy. At this point, it could be a hardware issue. Gotta go get some blood drawn. Nice, have fun. Back in a couple hours. We'll probably be here. Godspeed to you, Andy. I hope they don't take too much of your blood. I hope you get to keep some of it.
Arenvold, I admire your enthusiasm, but this is far more dangerous than anything you have done before.
He doesn't know that.
I know the risks. And I also know what's in store if we don't stop Fandaniel from carrying out his plan. With this power of mine, I can make a difference. If I stood idly by, I would regret it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, we'll regret it for the rest of his life.
And you, Fudola?
Kind of using it, just kind of. Every once in a while.
What are you asking me for? It's not like I have any say in the matter.
Don't pretend. We both know Commander Aldin gave you a chance to refuse. And you didn't.
So the Empire's finished, is it? Well, that's what they're all saying.
Mm.
That the great and glorious Garlemald slit its own throat. And now, from out of its twitching carcass crawls the Telophoroi with bloody Xenos at its head!
A point.
I fought for Garlemald. Killed for Garlemald. What was I part of? I need to know. Whatever it is, I need to know.
You need to know now, but not then when you were murdering your own people. Convenient, isn't it?
Very well. If your hearts are set on this, I shall not stand in your way.
If you've finished with your touching display of camaraderie, I have a question. Which tower are you planning to investigate, exactly?
Closest?
Well, the one in Girabani is said to be tightly guarded. It's patrol after patrol out there, apparently. We'd be spotted before we got anywhere near it. Which is why we've set our sights on the one in Pagalthan instead. There shouldn't be anything like as many Imperials to worry about down there.
Even so, I doubt the local Amalja will look kindly on it if they catch you sneaking around in their territory.
Fordola and I had a chance to learn the lie of the land in our previous forays there. We might still find trouble, but at least we won't lose our way.
That's good. Hi, Fordola.
Well, we'd best not keep them waiting any longer.
Mayhap when all of this is over, we could take another trip to Loxeld. I would have you know I've become a rather capable swimmer since our last visit.
Ha! I'll believe that when I see it. Though, to be fair, getting into deep water does seem to be a scion's lot in life.
Nice.
Take care, eh?
What a good little play on words that was. Respect, Arnbold.
It means a lot, you know. You coming with me?
I'll still owe you for saving my skin, don't I? Can't return the favour if I'm not there.
I dare say you'll get your chance before long. That Fandaniel sounds like a tricky customer. Too much for the likes of me, anyway. But we both know I'd just be another soldier if it weren't for my gift. And I need to be a damn sight more than that given what's coming. I realise I can't hold a candle to a hero like the Warrior of Light, or Alphino for that matter. He might look like he's 12, but he's seen more action than most people see in a lifetime. No, the fact is I'm nothing like them, and maybe I never will be. But I'll be damned if I don't try.
Respectable, for sure.
Counting on me. On us. So let's give it our all.
Let's do it, Arnwald. Oh, you do it. I don't get to do anything. I still don't have the highest hopes for his future existence, though. They seem to be really setting something up for like an emotional death.
He does not want for conviction, that much is certain. So let us have faith in him. Him and Fordola both.
Hey, Cabinet.
While they see to the towers, I would attend to another task. Chasing down this lunar Bahamut.
How have you been? Or things?
Bloody thing. Can you hear me? It's Tataru.
I can hear you.
I'm happy to say we've managed to find Estinian.
Yay. That didn't take long.
And I'm sorry to say he went running off again the moment we told him about Bahamut.
What? Estinian runs off to fight another dragon?
Something about heading to Ishgard, so if you're quick, you might still be able to catch him.
That's the way he suddenly shows up and starts waxing poetically, exactly. He's getting too much of the spotlight all at once.
This instant, he may already have left by the time we arrive. Have her send the Bonanza to Ishgard. It may prove useful should we need to give chase.
He's formed a deep connection with Alphino. Alphino's not had a loss recently,
I'll see
right?
to it as soon as Kryl and I get back to the Rising Stones. Good luck.
Good luck.
While you go off on your Dragoon hunt, Urianger and I will return to headquarters. We have much to tell the others.
Fingers crossed for him, though. Kind of like
I wish
Arnwald.
you every success in your search for our elusive friend. May we all meet again ere long.
It's good to know Estinian sticks around, I guess. He's not going anywhere. He was in the teaser for Evercold 2, so... Cabinet, did you watch the FanFest stuff? Are you caught up with all the things that are coming? Alphino is keen to track down Estinian. Nice. What are you looking forward to most, do you think? Estinian was bound for Ishgard. Whatever it is that brings him home, we must hope it will keep him there long enough for us to find him. Come, there is no time to lose. There is no time to lose. Cross data center party finder. Yeah, that's going to be huge. That is going to be a big one for everyone. They should be already working on it in Japan right now, right? They said it was going to release over there first and then come to us next, so hopefully they get good news and they get it over to us sooner than later. I have a Mist Large in Dynamis, but basically live on Ether. Okay, nice. I can finally queue for my house. Yeah, that would certainly be nice. Yeah, hopefully it all works. I mean, it makes sense, right? Final Fantasy XIV isn't the first or the only MMO to do something like that, so I'm sure it's just a matter of making sure all the lanes get crossed directly. I am a little worried about the evolved combat changes, but I'm open to it being good. I mean, all the old classes are keeping their reborn combat schemes. So for them, it's all optional. The newer classes or the newer jobs are going to get the evolved combat. I'm all for it. I just talked about it the other day with Gloria. I think it was, I don't remember when we last streamed 14. No, I think it was on Monday when I was talking with Gloria and Andy. Like, the Dragoon opener right now, like the single target Dragoon opener at my level, not even at like level 100, but so at level 82 is 21 button presses. 21 individual button presses for a Dragoon, for a DPS, right? That's my full single target opening rotation. And then after that, I have to track all the cooldowns and stuff. I've been trying to learn Paladin off stream so that I have like some tank classes and some things to catch up with or to do like in Dawn Trail and such. That it's insane how many buttons and how many abilities that class has compared to Gunbreaker. Paladin uses a full action bar more than Gunbreaker does. Right? Gunbreaker requires 2 full action bars, and Paladin requires 3 full action bars. I mean, that's 8 more abilities. That's insane. So I'm looking forward to Combat Evolved because I like that I'll be able, like, you know, the classes or the jobs will be more accessible to just people in general. Plus, I play on controller, right? So I'm constantly having to press 2-3 buttons at the same time just to use one skill. And so I'm excited for Combat Evolved quite a bit. But Infect 14 is basically the last one to add it. Yeah, the cross-world stuff. Gunbreaker has more APM at max level. Yeah, I imagine, but I feel like it's more compact. Like even at level 100, you know, there's not that. It's still only 2 full skill bars, action bars worth of skills. You know, you might have to press them more frequently, but it's less to track, at least. I'm worried about the way the bard changes are just turning bards into summoner and removing party buffs, since I've always played buff jobs in raids. Yeah, I know they've mentioned, a lot of the players have mentioned bard and astrologian or astrologist. Those 2 classes are probably going to need a pretty heavy rework if they're doing Combat Evolved. But like you said, though, or like I said, or what's already been mentioned, is those classes or those jobs you don't have to use them if you don't want to, right? They're going to keep their reborn combat scheme if that's what you want to use. So I'm sure they'll get reworked anyway and lose some of that stuff, but the reborn won't have buffs. Will it not? I didn't watch all of the panel stuff. I just watched the opening stuff, or the opening keynote. So they are removing the buffs. That's interesting. Is that the one where they're putting that on the off tank? Because I know they're splitting main tank and off tank roles to be kind of different. But I think reborn mode is just going to be like less consolidated buttons. I guess we'll find out what their plan is. I don't know. I think a couple of the jobs have already gone through some considerable changes, right? Like Summoner is very different than it was. Black Mage has undergone some changes to make it a little bit more simplified. So I don't know enough as a newer player, you know, who's played like 2 or 3 classes and is barely proficient with one of those jobs. Like, I'm looking forward to it just because I think it's going to allow me to get into the other jobs a little bit easier, which is nice. Also, with someone with old man hands, I really like not having to press 87 button combinations all at once. It's a lot. It's a lot for me, and so I'm looking forward to it. But I agree. I know that certain jobs have a certain like identity to them. And so, like you said, playing a bard and buffing your party was like a big part of that. So it always sucks when you lose some of it. Hopefully they give those classes a newer, a new identity or something that like maintains the identity that they've had. I'm not sure. We've still got some time, right? I don't think Evolved Combat is coming out until 8.0, right? So they've still got a lot of time to change it between now and, or not change it, but make adjustments between now and January. So we will see. I mentioned before, I've talked about it, but it does seem like they're taking a lot of inspiration from Korean MMOs rather than Western ones, with a lot of the new changes to a weekly system rather than a daily one, and world events, and a lot of that rotational stuff. So I'm interested to see how that's going to affect the player base and affect their how it goes. But WoW did a lot of that as well. I wouldn't know about WoW. I have not played since Warlords of Draenor, so I don't know anything. But I have played a lot of Korean MMOs recently, like Lost Ark and Throne and Liberty and New World. So they all seem like that's kind of the route they're going. But the fact that they don't seem to be introducing an actual battle pass and things like that, the famous Korean MMO New World. I mean, it's very like Korean based, right? It's Amazon, but it's definitely got I mean, so is Lost Ark. Lost Ark is Amazon too, but it's very much, or Throne and Liberty. Lost Ark isn't. Throne and Liberty is, but both of them are very like based on Korean MMO systems. All present. Good. Let us split up and search for Astidian. But yeah, to your point, it's not actually made by a Korean developer. Is relatively new to this place. Garaha and I will look around the open spaces, the squares and markets and whatnot. Even Dion can delve into the nooks and crannies. The last Korean MMO I played was Lineage 2 20 years ago, so it's been a while. Fair enough. Yeah. Those systems were all introduced by like Korean MMOs. Very well. Let us reconvene at the airship landing water later, with or without Astidian. Good luck. Oh, that's right. We're looking for Astidian. I think I shall begin at the Sky Steel Manufactory. Oh, the building right behind you? How convenient. So perhaps you could try the congregation? Lucia may very well heard news of our friend's return. Maybe. This is the only MMO that I've like actively played for long periods of time. I got pretty into Lost Ark for a while as well. The problem with Lost Ark is the new player experience wasn't always great. There were a couple of dungeons that were required to progress, and there was no like NPC support or anything like that. So sometimes the queue times could be hours for like a single dungeon. They didn't really, it was hard. I know they've made some improvements. Also, like your gear score obviously is, well, it's just like in this game, right, with your eye level. But your gear score was what determined like whether you were able to access certain content. And because like Lost Ark was like a year ahead in Korea than in America, you know, we were constantly playing catch up on new content as a whole. But then as a newer player, you were like, you almost had to turn it into a full-time job just to catch up and keep up, and it was way too much. I couldn't do it anymore. So I stopped. But I don't know, I mean, I watched some guy explaining how you need to have like 6 ults in Lost Ark to send gems or something to your main to keep farming. And I was like, this game is not for me. Yeah, that's a very good point, and he is correct. You did, like, having ults was super important because you needed to funnel. Essentially, they you know, just like with most MMOs, there's weekly lockouts. You can only do so much content, like updated content a week, but it's per character. They have some things that are account based and some things that are character based. So like a lot of my friends who were into Lost Ark, because that's why I was playing it, is because we had like a group of people. They had a guild and everything. Tons of people were playing Lost Ark, but they would have essentially like 5 or 6 of the same class. Like you would play. They would just have 6 different characters, all the same class, and then they would all do the weekly content and then funnel up all of the gems and all the primary currency up to their main character, and then they would funnel down all the old gear essentially. So you were just like constantly recycling old gear back and then just doing the content that that character could get away with. And it was insane. Like, the weekly rotations were gross. It like I said, it almost required a full-time job to get anything done or to get caught up. It was a lot. And then, you know, a lot of other games, the ones that I were playing, you know, that require the same thing. Throne and Liberty was still really new. Like, I played that on launch, so that one was not too bad yet, but you could already see like the Gamba systems in place and the RNG. So the way it works with a lot of Korean MMOs and Lost Ark especially, and did the same thing with New World, and it did the same thing with Throne and Liberty, is that essentially you had a % chance to upgrade your gear. So you would take these materials and you would funnel them into a piece of gear, and then based on how many material or what kind of materials through in it, the first time you did it, sometimes you would have like a 10% chance to upgrade that piece of gear. And if it didn't upgrade, then you had to wait until like a whole nother week. You had to wait a whole nother week and a whole nother cycle, a reset, to try to upgrade that gear again. But what they would do is they would use a pity system essentially. So like the first week you might have a 10% chance to upgrade, and then the second week you might have a 12% chance to upgrade. And then there was premium currency that you could pay for that would essentially increase that pity chance. So instead of going from like a 10%, it would increase it to like a 20% chance. And then it was over and over and over again. So that's why you had to funnel up all these resources, because you could essentially like, you could there was a maximum number of roll attempts that you could that you could go on a piece of gear per week. But in order to maximize the amount of rolls, you had to, you needed more materials than just one character could get. And it's stupid. It is what it is. So I'm glad that Final Fantasy XIV isn't going that route, really. It seems like they're still keeping, in fact, they're kind of going the opposite route with the whole eye level sync. I still don't know how that's going to work, but being able to sync your eye level to your other jobs, or sync the highest eye level to your other jobs, seems kind of the opposite. It seems like they're trying to remove a lot of the grind, for good or for bad. So we'll see how that plays out. But, all right, Lucia. Good day to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Amaric sent word that you would be attending the meeting in Alamigo, so I gather you have not come in search of him. To what then do we owe the pleasure of your visit? I'm looking for that silly Dragoon. I see. No, we were not aware Sir Estinian had returned to Ishgard, but as I expect you remember, he is wont to come and go as he pleases. Mayhap he came seeking audience with Lord Amaric, only to find him absent? Perhaps. In any event, I am afraid I cannot help you. Perhaps one of your companions has fared better. Thanks, Lucia. But yeah, I think I like most of the changes as a newer player myself. I can't complain about really anything. The weekly rotation, the thing I'm mostly concerned about with that is that a lot of times when you go to a weekly rotation, like all the other MMOs that we've talked about, the real problem is that the servers are always busiest on the day of the reset and the day before the reset happens, if that makes sense, right? Everyone is either there the day that the reset happens and they're trying to knock out as much of the content as they can, or they're on like the day immediately before the reset because, oh my gosh, they're gonna miss things, and you know, they got to keep up with the reset schedule. And so the rest of the week, like 5 days of the week, it's kind of like a ghost town, or at least all the hardcore players, right, like are on reset day. And then you have all the casual players who are on the weekends, and those are like demon hours, right? You're trying to queue, or you're trying to in this case duty support or duty finder, with a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing anyway. You know, they're a bunch of casual players that are just playing on the weekend when they can. And so you're like weekend warriors, yeah, exactly. And you're like resetting over and over again. You're wiping constantly. You got people dropping in and out because things happen. You know, it's just a mess. So I will say, as much as like a weekly reset is really nice to reduce the amount of time people are spending inside the world, you're also like opening up a lot of different problems. It's the daily system does prevent a lot of that, right? Because people are on, you know, people are queuing for a few things a day, and It does seem like they're kind of getting rid of the roulette system, or the roulettes, and that's a little disappointing because I think the roulettes are what makes Final Fantasy XIV a bit unique. I like it, so we'll see. If I party finder a Savage reclear on Tuesday, reset at 1 a.m. my time, it's done in like an hour to an hour and a half. If I try the weekends, it takes forever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because that's exactly what it is. You know, people are there on reset day. They know what they're doing. They're trying to knock their stuff out, get it going. And you know, they are there to be as efficient as possible. But anyway, I don't know. I'm sure they'll do something. I'm sure they have plans for all of this. This isn't, they've been doing this for a long time, so I'm just staying positive. It doesn't affect me much right now, because I'm not playing any of that content, right?
No sign of him. Not that I've ever
You
met
remember this
him
cutscene?
before, but the way Alphino goes on about him, I'm fairly sure.
When did we?
Take him out in a crowd.
I think we finished 5-4 2 weeks ago.
Speaking of which, it does seem awfully quiet. If the erstwhile Azure Dragoon had returned to Ishgard, would it not be a source of general excitement?
My head's been bad the last like month or so, so I've unfortunately had to sit for a couple weeks, but hey, look, speak of the devil.
First the Scion's Coinkeeper, and now you. I'm beginning to think these meetings are more than mere coincidence.
I actually liked, I know people hype up I think really weird. We're not disconnecting. I think my bitrate's jumping all over the place, but it's still weird. People really hype up 5.3. I think I liked 5.4 more than 5.3. I think 5.4 was awesome. Looks fine. Good. Good. Yeah, I've been having a lot of random disconnects, and sometimes it'll reconnect itself, and sometimes it won't. I've changed so many settings.
It's been too long.
Too long?
You look an ilm taller and twice as rugged. It suits you, Alphino.
Hilarious. Alizé trying password. Yeah, Nero's. Yeah, I thought 5.4 was great.
Quieter, though. Have you been giving him lessons on how to be the strong, silent type?
I am not Alphino!
That was actually a little bit more restrained than I thought it would be. I thought she was going to punch him.
If the two of you are such firm friends, perhaps you should remember what he looks like. And what do you mean, rugged?
Kid.
Oh, had my brother mentioned what an oaf you are, I'd never have bothered looking for you in the first place.
Estinian Wormblood, the Azure Dragoon. He who fought and felled the dread worm Nidhogg at the Warrior of Light's side.
I like how Garahatia just fanboys over everyone. Nope, there are the ears.
The day would come when I should see this living legend with my own eyes.
Would someone mind explaining what is going on?
I wish I knew. It's a lot.
Is everything all right? I thought I heard Alizé shouting.
There's oh no. Well, there's been a bit of confusion.
It's been too long.
That's what Estinian said.
No, it's quite understandable. That was hardly the first time we've been confused for one another. Nor, I suspect, will it be the last.
I don't know that Alizé agrees with you.
Well, I, for one, will not be making that mistake again. What I will say, for the second time today, is that you've grown. Inside and out. I can tell.
It's interesting, he's back in his Dragoon get up.
One can't remain a spoiled little lordling forever, you know.
Also, I don't know. I noticed the other day, or someone pointed out the other day,
having a good time.
that Estinian Skybolt points to the left, and the Warrior of Light Skybolt points to the right. And so when they stand next to each other, they look like or their halberds create like a dragon wing effect. It's pretty cool.
You know, when we were growing up, Alphino would never befriend other boys because he
Yeah, I
couldn't
didn't
stand
notice
the
it either.
thought of not being in charge. But maybe that's changed. He seems just as happy around Estinian as he does Arenvald.
Perhaps he sees them as the brothers he never had. I think he learned how to talk with people rather than at them. Well, you can't keep them all to yourself. I think all of these are good points. I wish we could point out that he's really just making friends with his sister in different ways, right?
Huh, good luck to them. It hasn't been easy being his sister, I can tell you that.
I don't know if I had the guy bulk on me.
No rest for the righteous, eh?
Actually.
Speaking of which, I was just on my way to borrow an airship to take me to Azisla.
Mm-hmm.
Azisla? How could I forget? The dragon with whom Bahamut shared the deepest of bonds.
Right. Is it this Riot guy?
Tiamat, his
Of
mate.
course, Tiamat, yeah.
Even now
Never
she
mind.
remains imprisoned on Azisla, though her remorse binds her faster than any shackle.
That was obvious. It was like
I
right there.
see. As the one who first summoned Bahamut, you believe she may be able to shine some light on his latest incarnation. Might I suggest that we make the journey to Azisla together? I'm not sure if Tataru mentioned this, but we Scions have an airship of our own now.
I see no reason why not. Assuming your sister can bear the thought of sharing a deck with me.
As long as you don't call her Alphino again, I think she'll be okay.
Be my guest. But confuse me with Alphino again and I'll throw you overboard.
He's like, maybe.
Ugh. I don't know who he thinks he is, but he's nothing like Alphino painted him to be.
I will admit, he is not exactly as I imagined him either. Based on what I had read of the man, I think I was expecting someone a little less blunt.
Stinian is blunt. Oh, that was fast. All right, let's see, actually. Let's see if I have it on me. I have this one. Yep. See? I mean, I'm unfortunately a little bit shorter, but they point in different directions. Pretty cool, yeah? I think it's neat. I have to use the restroom really quick, so step away and do that. We're back. I gotta run to work. Watch the VOD later. Have a good stream. Thanks, Cabinet. Thanks for hanging out, man. Sorry you were, sorry, stepped away for a second while you were gone, but always lovely chatting with you as well. I'm glad I got up, though, because apparently I left my refrigerator door open, so it was, like, yelling at me. And I definitely would not have heard it with my earbuds in. Alright, Alphino, what do you got? Let's go. It has been quite some time since last I set foot in Azislaw, but I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit? Oh, we did not, no. Alas not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Well then, Dion is the person to ask. As far as I know, he's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. Even now, she remains a prisoner of the Allegan Empire. Let's just say it helped that Midgard Samir was there to introduce me. True. Even now, she remains a prisoner of the Allegan Empire. Ever since the end of the war with Mericidia, Mericidia, yeah, yes? To have been held captive for so long. I too have met with Tiamat. Have you? After the Dragonsong War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her, even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Nidhogg is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. I don't think I have any of this in my inventory. I don't know if I want any of it in my inventory. I'm just going to take the gold. I always forget to have food running. Might as well just eat something now, right? I have one of anything. Craftsmanship doesn't matter to me right now. Gathering doesn't help me. Skill, speed, vitality, determination in a ginger salad sounds great. Sidian, this is Righteous Indignation. So we're already on quest 3, which is pretty nice, actually. Sidian is ready to lead the way to Tiamat. Tiamat awaits this way. Oh. I can fly. Hello, Ildra. Or Tiamat. Goodness. I mean, that's awful. Music's nice. Is there a way we can, like, release her? My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man? Talking to Estinian.
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
Yeah, I'll leave it to me, no problem. that my sins should be repeated. I sensed not the faintest stirring. As to who could have called him forth, I know of none save the dragons of Mericidia, our children. The Icon claimed their souls when first he manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Alligans' dark designs. True.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Yes, the dragons of Mericidia are at the mercy of this Ascian. There can be no other explanation. Accursed Ascians, vile minions of darkness. We should definitely release Tiamat. Again, you would profane the memory of my beloved and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you will not stoop? Oh, they're pretty terrible people. Anybody find it weird? What? It's not weird.
Your children's pain means nothing to them. They laugh at your kind suffering.
They do.
But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
What wouldst thou have of me, Slayer of Dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
He's Justinian. Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire, but words shall have to suffice. Excuse me. There's no way we can release her. Do it. Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence.
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul.
Wow.
But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Indeed. Ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee the power we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the Icon's influence, all would pay the price. But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance.
We're gonna try to break her of her thraldom.
If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
I honestly can't even imagine how much ether we would need to break the enthrallment of Bahamut himself. Like, that seems very complicated, right? Like, it's required the ether of like 1 or 2 people to just break the enthrallment of Titan, for crying out loud. But Bahamut's a different beast, and Tiamat is as well. Speak thou in earnest? Yep.
There is no future for those bound to the past. That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Spitting bars over here. A chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest. When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary, and now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe to Hydaelyn, and to all who have suffered from my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. It's a big deal. That little smirk from Estinian. I think he's proud of Alphino and Alizé, right? Like, I don't think Estinian could have convinced her himself. I don't think it's within Estinian's power, right? Like, I think Tiamat probably sees a lot of Nidhogg in Estinian because they have that connection still. Nidhogg is inside of him, but I think allowing Alphino and Alizé to speak to Tiamat in the way that they did probably really helped, right? It's also, Tiamat called Estinian the Slayer of Dragons. I think she also harbors a little bit of, I don't know, I wouldn't say anger, but he's killing her children, like literally slaying her children. So there's a little bit of animosity there as a mother, as another dragon, obviously. And so even though Estinian feels responsible for taking care of her or has some kind of familial connection, there's still a lot of tension there. While Porxies have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. Yeah, I would say so. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we'd be hard-pressed to contain her. Then, before going ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we could find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Alligans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. That's good to hear. We shall leave that to you then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I know Alphino and Dion here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star. That is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all of her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I will understand how hard it is, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take that first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tataro's famous tea, and be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water. I think not. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. He's like, I know what it means to owe Tataru a favor. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the Flagship. Ah, yes, we are familiar with it. The Etherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this. A spirit vessel containing a small amount of my blood. That could be useful. I assume that's going to be what the dungeon is. we'll probably have to go and figure it out. Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. Well, you know, you never know when you might need a container of your own blood. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros, Oriange, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels and the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines, and so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood, and armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seemed worth a try, at least. Agreed. We'll take good care of it. Maybe that's where Andy went. He said he had to have some blood drawn. Maybe it's so he could make some spirit crystals, you know? The flagship, then. The flagship.
Who's that Pokemon?
Oop, I pressed the wrong button. Alice and I shall remain here to attend to necessary preparations. In the event that the spirit vessel fails to work as expected, you know where to find me. Good luck. Well, I didn't mean to click on you, but... Hey, it's Ixion. He matches this environment pretty well, I think. Hello, Ixion. A little sad that Ixion doesn't have his own music. That feels bad, doesn't it? I don't know how I just realized that. Old mana cutters. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is to simply identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Great, thanks, Alphino. Weirdest looking sphinx ever. Malodorous. A name. Oh. First node. Bzzzt. Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. That's not what we wanted to do. Oh my goodness, what? Obstreperous? What's an obstreper? What's obstreperous even mean? Malodorous, I do know, but obstreperous? Obstreperous. Someone noisy, unruly, and difficult to marked by unruly or aggressive noisiness. Clamorous. Huh. Okay, so they're just being annoyingly loud. Obstreperous. What a fun word. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause, intruder interference. Advised deployment of automated combat units. Proceed? No. Glamorous kind of means the same thing. Maybe they're all just like really noisy. Blip bloop. Warning. Scheduled Dragon restraint maintenance due in negative 2,020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. Uh-oh. It's gonna release a bunch of dragons. Sildra. And look, it's the same music. She also has the generic flying mount music from... Sad. I feel like Ixion, if anything, should have Ramuh's soundtrack, but I guess that's what the horse is for, right? I am afraid Estinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? I did. A node which smelled like burned hair. Yes, a chirping node which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. I found a way to activate mechanical sentries, if that's any help. Yes, a chirping node which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node of which Grah spoke, and it was chirping. Very well, let us take a closer look. Yes, let us take a closer look at the one. So it's only clamorous, not obstrepious. Whatever. How do the elegants tell these things apart? Well, this one's clamorous, you know, instead of malodorous. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Bleep bloop. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps? We don't actually want to activate the restraints, do we? Wasn't that the whole point? Bloop. New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Bloop. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. Dion Wright. Welcome, Dion Wright. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Bloop, bloop. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen. Tiamat. A system update is required. Of course it is. A system update? What do you suppose it is asking of us? I could hazard a guess. To smash it to pieces. Well, that's more than I can say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. Bloop. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my own software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. Great. So, can this thing release the restraints or not? Really, Justinian, you were right there. It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense. User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. Bloop, I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. How gratifying, but I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Especially as Justinian. Me. Alright, next quest. For vengeance. The restrainment node stands poised to lend a hand, figuratively speaking. Bloop. Guiding user to terminal. This way, please. Hey, it's our Firebird. Can't go down that, right? That's glass. Yeah, looks like glass. Kind of surprised Wedge isn't here. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Why, software version 42.002, of course. Blip, bloop, warning. Errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update. 5 years, 1 day. My goodness, 5 years. That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? Bloop. The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Can't we just ask the node what update it requires to access the same controls, right? Like, the controls would have been added at a previous update, I'm sure. Maybe it doesn't need to go all the way from 42 to 56, but can it go from... I don't know. I don't know how much it would reduce the time, but it's a possibility. Don't bother trying to explain. Just tell me if we've made any progress. Kind of the opposite of progress in this case, but I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. I mean, you don't want to carry around a vial of Grahatia's blood with you wherever you go? Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allegan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Ascians, and it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? I think he's kind of a lost cause. Enemy or no, I want to understand him. I will try, yes, and if that fails, I'll remember him. Certainly, after I've wiped the smile off his face. I will try, yes, and if that fails, I'll remember him. I see little point in reasoning with the wretch, or remembering him for that matter. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope that you do not come to rue your benevolence. Yeah, me too, actually. You think it unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. Off we go. Hello, Wibber. Wrong way. I'm coming. I have to use the restroom again. I was sweltering in the closet last night. It was so hot and humid in there. It was just gross. It wasn't so bad early on, but as we just Hoda and I trapped in there for hours, it was getting a little bit abrasive. That being said, though, I have to what I was saying, the reason I say that is because I was drinking a lot of water because I was very hot and thirsty. So I'll be right back. Yes. All right. Or vengeance. Justinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he's needed elsewhere. He has to insert the controls manually. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got here in the end. While you were off talking to the nodes, Garaha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirm that her ethereal balance leans strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all other things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the ether I can get. Thank you in advance.
Who's that Pokemon?
Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely, that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Yeah, definitely, I would imagine. Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphino to disengage the restraints. Ethereal dampers. Counting on you, Angelo. Man, like, I just don't understand why we can use, if ether crystals can be used to summon a primal, why can't they be used in this manner as well? Like, why does all the ether have to come from a person? Can't we? I feel like we should be able to use the crystals in the same way, right? They just acted like batteries as conduits. Like, we should be able to absorb the ether from somewhere. But I guess, to be fair, by absorbing the ether from the crystals, that's why the primals are kind of causing an etheric disruption, right? That's why it's bad for the planet, or bad for Hydaelyn, for the source. If the primals continue to be summoned, is because it does require a crap ton of ether to do. So maybe it's just like from an environmental standpoint, right? They're trying not to use the crystals as a power source, but I don't know. Ah, such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with the men of Elag. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul is pre-tempered to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. Theon, she trusts you. Does she? Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Why don't we all just do it now? I don't understand. Anyway. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians. Tell me of your war with the men of Elag. I don't know if any of those things are good things to talk about. Why can't we think of happier things? I don't know which is better. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Mericidia could have lasted for eternity, but alas, it was not meant to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation, I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Elag first came unto Mericidia, unto our home. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mericidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlayan scholars, of the Charlayan scholar Marusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Again, Angelo. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind, and as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing even more of their brethren, who divided the vast land amongst themselves. For a time they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. That's impressive. They just acted as like wise arbiters of conflict. That's cool. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end, for the men of Alag slew my beloved and I, For the men of Alag slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well. We had another dip, but not a disconnect. That's progress, I suppose. But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. Go again. Yeah, right now they're just like dips. I mean, that is much better than it has been, but I mean, we're still like still getting them, which is annoying. All right, fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear, when this is over. Keep going, Alizé. The magic is working. While I knew this wasn't going to be easy, no patient could have prepared me for the treating of a great worm. But we're close. I can feel it. And while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with yours and Garaha's, this will work. Then I believe I speak for both of us when I say that you may take as much as you require. Maybe not as much. If I have to fight this thing, I kind of want some of my ether left. You know what I mean? Careful, I might hold you to that. All right, here I go. Go, Angelo, go. Worksy blast.
Ugh, no. I'm almost there.
This might actually be the first time that the Warrior of Light is contributing their ether to this process. It's been everyone else up until now, but I think this is the first time that we are actually contributing, which is cool.
This is it, Angelo.
Whee! actual spirit bomb. Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
I think so.
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
I mean, she can tell us, can't she? Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner? Yes?
Many have been subjected to the Allagan's dark arts, their flesh irrevocably altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
My children. Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time.
Fingers crossed.
Do it. And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
This is a pretty big deal. Look at her. Bahamut, my beloved. For vengeance and atonement, I rise.
By the gods!
She is a powerful being.
Urianger, your timing could not be better.
Yeah, we just freed the mother of all dragons.
Understood, we're on our way.
No big deal.
It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan. He flies for the largest Amalja settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Well, Tiamat, you're gonna get your chance really soon. Convenient timing.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way.
Right on the back of Tiamat.
Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Dragoon, jump. Yep. That's why Estinian's a badass. I can't wait till Sky High. I cannot wait until we get access to that ability. Oh, absolutely awesome. While I'm sure you are desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, it would be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less. I think so. The Flames of War. This is the dungeon quest, or there will be a dungeon associated with this quest. With Lunar Bahamut bound for Paglathon, Grahatia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions. That checks out. Especially if we're going to be fighting a horde of dragons. I have already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames, excuse me. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. Good thing we have a new airship, right? Yeah, that was a big deal.
Who's that Pokemon?
And the lingering question of whether it was a good idea or not. What will come of this act? Alright, Hall of Flames. Look at us. Oh, they brought us here. That's always nice. Didn't make me teleport. Now, I know some of you could do with a rest, but I'm sorry to say that Telophoroi have other plans. Paglathon is already under siege. Happily, the Immortal Flames arrived just in time to join the defensive effort, with Marshal Tarupin at their head. Well now, given the failure of the peace negotiations, I was uncertain how the Sultanate would respond. It is good to hear that Ul'dah has not abandoned the Amalja. Abandoned them? Did we not profess to be their friends? Indeed. Who's this gentleman? Who are you? Why does that look like, Your Grace? Paladin? Marshal Tarupin had made provisions for such an exigency, and was ready to depart at a moment's notice. All that was required was the agreement of the syndicate, each of whom voted in favor of intervention. Good for them. That guy back there looks like the little merchant fellow on the council, but nor is Ul'dah alone in its resolve. The other alliance nations have likewise dispatched their troops to Paglathon. Yet even with our combined strength, we shall be sorely tested, for we face not only the might of an Imperial Legion, but Lunar Bahamut and his draconic horde besides. Tiamat's children. Fight as we may, victory is by no means assured, but not all of the omens are grim. Our forces report that despite their proximity to Lunar Bahamut, none of the Amalja show any signs of tempering. Strange. What primal would turn down a chance to claim new thralls? One that couldn't? Unless it is incapable of doing so. Primals are not wont to serve a master, Ascian or otherwise. It may well be that Lunar Bahamut differs in some fundamental manner from those we have previously encountered. If that were true, anyone could fight him, and Dion and others like him wouldn't have to shoulder the burden alone. Be that as it may, Lunar Bahamut remains an incalculably powerful foe whom our soldiers will struggle to best through mere force of arms. With the aid of the Scions, however, I believe they will fare rather better, assuming, that is, you are ready to take the field. Oh, we're ready. An airship awaits to bear you to the front. Pray set forth as soon as you are able. This is exciting. I, meanwhile, shall continue to coordinate our forces. Till next we meet, may the 12 bless and keep you. I really would know that little guy's name back there. He's taken the place of Marshal Tarupin, right? Of Pippin. Pippin is now the marshal of the Ul'dah military in place of his father. And it seems like that gentleman has taken over Tarupin's position, or Pippin's position. Ishtola, it was kind of her to speak with us personally. You may be certain she has no shortage of other responsibilities. It was nice of her. Well, I, for one, am inclined to do as Her Grace requests. Lest we forget, Arnvald and Fordola are in Palgathon on reconnaissance. The sooner we save the day, the better their chances. Indeed. To the airship, then. Doesn't that really suck that they chose that tower because they were like, this is the one that's less fortified? And then what happens? Lunar Bahamut and a horde of dragons show up. Is not ideal, you know? The landing. These gentlemen are always here dancing. That guy is anyway. Why, I don't know. The landing. Airship landing, please. Immortal Flames Pilot. Wow, look at you. That's a cool jacket. That's a really cool jacket. My goodness. What is that you're wearing? I like that a lot. I need to look it up. Hold on. Immortal Flames Pilot Jacket. Flame Lieutenant's Coat. Is that what it's called? Yeah? No. Close, but not quite. You can get it from the Flame Quartermaster. It's close, but not quite the same. It's cool, though. It is cool. All right, pilot. Greetings. We've been expecting you. But say the word, and we shall depart for Palgathon at once. Palgathon now accessible. Regular duty has been added to the duty finder and duty support. I would love to. Party of NPCs, please. Who do we have? Let's see. Am I okay with this party? I think so. I think I'm okay with this party. Any reason not to have that party? No. Let's go. Oh.
Let's give it our all.
Let's go. Register for duty. We're gonna get synced, which sucks. Down to 82. It's not that far, but commence. Palgathon. Let's do it. There's Tiamat. Ascian vermin, you shall torment my children no longer. I really hope that Tiamat doesn't die here. That would be devastating for everyone involved, I think. Okay, arrive at the gathering ring is my first objective. Everyone ready? Alright. Stinian, I'm gonna need you to do, or Thancred, I'm gonna need you to do a better job tanking. Tempered Imperial. They're all tempered Imperials. One just happens to be a caster in the back. Here we go. Just using the same abilities over and over. Dungeon time. How we doing? We're doing. You On the second to last quest, we just released Tiamat from her imprisonment, which is actually really cool. Here we go. As far as how we're doing in real life, we're tired or persevering. Also, we've only had one disconnect. And it reconnected itself, so I didn't have to do anything about it, which is lovely. We've had a few frame drops, which is unfortunate, but I'll take those over a full disconnect any day. Very good of you, long overdue for her. I agree 100%. This whole, you know, curing and enthrallment thing, or enthrallment, is really sick. I'm a big fan. It's a really neat, it's a really neat development. I also think it's kind of cool, you know, the Scions have kind of, before this, in A Realm Reborn, the Scions were kind of acting as this international, like, peacekeeping force almost, if that makes sense. Where, because the alliance wasn't all that strong, it was just between like the three, and even then barely, you know, didn't always work. So this kind of gives the Scions an interesting, like, new role to take, if that makes sense. Oh, I thought something was attacking that. That's why I stepped back. I was like, that big red ring showed up. I thought something was dropping on it, like this guy back here. Oh, well, they kind of were. Oh, it's just you. I don't need to... Nope. Alright. Time to actually use my damage rotation of 21 buttons. I love it. I'm not kidding. I don't think Combat Evolved can come soon enough. It's gonna be a long wait until January for just for that in general. I wonder if there are jobs where I'll stick with Reborn mode. I don't think there's a single job. Like, even with Dragoon, as much as I love, I think I'm getting used to Dragoon for the most part, you know? I think I could continue to enjoy Dragoon in Evolved mode, or in Reborn mode. I don't think I have any desire to, if that makes sense. I think I'm more than happy to just experience the new mode to its fullest. Dancer, I feel no resistance. I don't even feel Dancer's that bad. I feel like Dancer is easier than Dragoon is. Which is the weirdest thing to say to, like, honestly. Dragoon shouldn't feel bad. And it doesn't feel bad. It's a pretty straightforward combo class. It's just that, like, 21 buttons right now at level 84 is a lot. You know? It's a lot. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel no resistance to fluid gameplay in Reborn mode. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if Evolve feels better or just different. I'm hoping it's a little bit of both. I am more than happy to experience a more complex combat system than just pressing a bunch of buttons in order. Because sometimes it feels like I'm playing DDR rather than playing, like, an actual MMO at times. Like, I'm just pressing buttons in order because that's what I have to be the most efficient, rather than making actual decisions. And I've said it before, but because I'm not, even on my most comfortable class, oh my goodness, what is happening? Why am I targeting that guy way over there? That doesn't make any sense at all. Whatever. Even on my most comfortable class of Dragoon, a lot of times it feels like I'm paying more attention to my skill bar than to the environment around me. And I think it's gotten me killed on, like, more than one occasion. You know what I mean? So I'm more than happy to, like, limit the amount of buttons I need to press to be effective while still staying alive. So I'm looking forward to it, like, completely. This guy's taking a lot of damage. I figured he'd be dead already, but he's hanging in there. Good. Now we can go ahead and start using more AoE stuff. There's only 3 left now, but whatever, it's fine. Trying to get close enough to I'm hitting the dragon in the back, and I think I am. Yeah, I am. Last AoE rotation. But no, Cabinet was here earlier, and he said he's a little worried because he plays Bard. And Bard is known for their, like, you know, their buffing. They're removing a lot of that. And I completely understand that point of view too, right? It sucks when it sucks when jobs lose their identity in a lot of ways. And I hope that they do something. I imagine, you know, with a brand new system, they're putting a decent amount of thought into all of it. You know, they're not just implementing something that they have no plans. I feel like they've done a pretty good job of taking care of the fans, I guess is the best way to say that. Like, they've done a good job of taking all that into consideration. So I just hope that they continue to do so, and it doesn't ostracize a large part of the community. Because I know that, oh my goodness, what the heck am I supposed to do about that? Are we supposed to destroy these things? They're all touching them, but oh. What in the world? I'm so confused as to what I was supposed to do there. All the NPCs were like running around and like touching them, but there was nothing for me to touch. Sorry, Alpino. What else was I gonna do? Hey, this is cool. They're getting bigger. Okay, what's happening? Am I just discharging it? Oh, that one already has one. Okay, well, I'm not... I think we're getting, like, static around us. And then it's... Yeah, I'm dead. I think we're getting static around us, and we have to discharge it at one of those terminals and then get away from it. That feels correct, but I don't know where they are. Anyway, yeah, I agree. I think that shattering the 2-minute meta and allowing for more job diversity is a really good thing. Agreed. Instead of moves, they've done like simplifying Summoner and Black Mage to the disappointment of those job spans. Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping, you know, I'm hoping that they're taking all that into consideration. Because I know that, like, it doesn't matter what you do, right? In the grand scheme of things, like, you're never going to please every single person. So I'm sure that they understand that some people will be disappointed. But my biggest thing is, like I said, job identity. I think, you know, to Cabinet's point of view, or to Cabinet's point, you know, a big reason to play the Bard was because you were constantly buffing your party. You know, it was like part of the class identity, the job identity. And so I completely understand, like, as a player, if you, like, you don't want to lose your reason to play the class. So I get that for sure. And okay, here, are we discharging this? Is that what we're doing? I still have mine on me. I don't understand. I really don't know what's happening. Maybe, okay, I might be right, but I also might be wrong, and it's really annoying me. You survive the attack by virtue of your strength of will. That's the game's way of saying, like, hey, dummy, you just died again, but we are saving you because you're the main character. Like, I really feel ignorant as opposed to what I'm supposed to do here. All right, let's look out for this. It's not that hard of a mechanic, for crying out loud, right? Oh, we're galvanizing? Wait. I don't understand. Apparently you gotta pass your static to the lamppost that doesn't have an AoE already. That's what I tried to do the last time, and they were all staticked. I just died. Like, That one was my fault because there was static on it. I saw the static on it, but the reason that I didn't look for another one is because the last time I tried that, they all had static on them, or at least all the ones that I looked at. So I must have just missed the one that didn't have it. I don't know why. I should not have used Life Surge there. That was stupid of me. Okay. Hole with static. Wait, you don't have static? Ah, okay. We're good now. We're good. Is it working? Our first disconnect. I was trying to fight and do this at the same time. I think we got it. Frustrating. Okay. So I gotta go touch this thing. There we go. Beautiful multitask. I tried. Alright, we're good. That mechanic is not difficult. I just didn't know what to look for. Now I do. So I feel a little bad dying to it twice, essentially, but it's fine. We learn. Die and learn, live and learn, as long as you're learning. It's not wasted, you know? Need a snack? Me too. Treasure coffer. How many? What's my currency at? Am I? Okay, I still have a 900. That old savage aim materia. Is that the Azure Dragoon?
The amounts are in trouble. Let's split up.
Weren't we already split up? Oh, talking to Tiamat, not us. He doesn't care about us at all. Unit to target. Glory be to Garlemald. Yeah, we get it. Rude. I kind of feel worse about killing the dragons than I do about killing the Imperials. But at the same time, it's like, oh. Drop the button somewhere. We're doing it.
You underestimate me.
I don't think anybody underestimates you, Alize. Although, to be fair, if they properly estimated any of us, none of them would be fighting us right now, but they are tempered, so maybe they'd be doing it anyway. And how it goes, right? Or the Empire... Just, yeah, the Radiant. And... Emmerich. Get them. I'm hitting all of them. Don't know if I'm hitting that one on the left. I don't think I am. Let's change our angle a bit. Louis. And I used to be able to take out a whole unit while the others were working on the other. Now it seems like my damage has decreased quite a bit in relation to the difficulty of the enemies we're fighting. Difficulty is a strong word. Let's say tankiness. Galthan Ring offending. That might be nice. Fall back. Look at Astinian go. There's that sky high ability I want so very bad. Thank you, Tiamat. Two dragons up here. So we're not going that way. Lots of stuff's happening. My poor child, I shall free thee from thy pain. A weird position. I meant to do it all. I meant to press that other button. Alright. Honestly, with the two of them, I should just be using single target DPS. I shouldn't be trying to hit multiples. Dragoon it has some DPS built into it, but it's not anything amazing. Much better to, if there's two or less enemies, I think in general with AoE you're just supposed to focus one and then the other. You would lend us your aid, then let us crush this accursed war machine. This looks scary, doesn't it? Right. Louis. Imagine we're gonna be dodging some things like those cannons. Yeah. This is where you have to pay attention to the environment, not your buttons, right? We should be in the middle here. A lot of enemies. On guard. Okay, well, we don't have to move for this one, so that's nice. Oh, we're gonna get pushed out. So we want to be pushed in the direction that they're not firing. That makes sense, doesn't it? Once the way is clear, strike at the enemy's heart. Leap on to the... Oh, cool. Boom. And we're supposed to save some of our burst for this. Let's give them a show. Okay, we did round one. We gotta do it again. Oh, wow. Hello. The enemies got bigger. Pull them over here. No. Whoa. That was closer than it should have been, yeah? I think we played that a little close. Probably not for the best. Oh goodness, now we have missiles on this side too, so we gotta pay attention to vertical and horizontal planes. Gotta love that. More like X and Y axis kind of situation, but still. Okay, where are we getting hit to? We want to be... My group wants to be over here, so we'll stay over here. That's fine. There's a lot of enemies.
Keep your guard up.
You keep your guard up. guys want to move over? You know you guys can move over whenever you want, right? You don't have to, like, wait. Okay, I'm not taking any risks, you know? They are. Not risks, I mean, they know, I guess. Okay, we're gonna leap up. Up we go. Hooray. Just do as much damage as we can. I think we can finish it off this time, right? As long as we have the DPS check, I'm doing my DPS, and the allies are doing their DPS. This should be the last one we have to do. No. You're kidding me. Oh, okay, good. Yeah, it worked. I was like, no, there's no way. Arms of Fending. I'm getting a lot of tank gear, which is something, I suppose. Alright, one more. Brilliant Paladin future, true. Whoa. That means I have to keep my gear for that long, and I won't do that, so... Probably just gonna get donated to the cause here soon, because I'm gonna need room. Lori and I were talking about it the other day. I really don't know how this item level sync is going to affect, like, how much room you get. I don't, but they already revamped the armoire, right? I need to look into that, because apparently they've made the armoire a lot easier, or made it bigger or something. I don't quite know. I don't know if you can access items directly from your armoire now, because that would be great. Goodness. We'll do one more AoE rotation and then switch. That anyway, so. Boom. I will call unto my children. What have you been doing up to this point? The icon weigheth in the heavens. My child shall bear thee to him. Oh, cool. Take this one. Go on your others. Whoa. This is neat. Yeah, the item level sync is an interesting shift. Yeah, I don't know what it means, right? Because ideally you'd still need... I mean, there's what? There's 6 gear sets, not including weapons and offhands. Because you have fending, maiming, slaying, aiming, casting, and healing, right? I feel like you'd still need each of those sets, like it's the same amount of space. Lilac, welcome back, friend. It's been a while. How are we? Hopefully you're happy and healthy. How's the writing coming along? How's life? Are we still keeping our word count a day? We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. It's been a rough month health-wise, but we're living, so what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Just keep on keeping on. That's all you can do sometimes. No need to be doing that. I'm trying so hard. Burnout is pain, and new Final Fantasy content calls out to me. Yeah, we were just talking about some of it. I imagine you tuned into the FanFest stuff. I really only paid attention to the keynote for the most part, and some of the stuff that I've seen or that's been sent to me. Hello, Lunar Bahamut. What are you most looking forward to as far as the I'm getting harassed. Could my tank maybe take Thank you. I did. It was crazy looking. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of stuff. But I think what I liked, you know, 99% of it, I suppose. I didn't see anything. There were a couple of things that I saw that I had concerns about that I'm sure they have plenty of time to work out, or that won't be nearly as bad as I think it will. But yeah, so far. What world are you on again? Crystal Pearl. Crystal Pearl. I am excited about the world, the data center combinations, though, or being able to queue up with them, at least. The Party Finder, same world, awesome. Oh, good. By the way, are you on free trial? No. I technically used my free trial years and years and years ago. On like the PS4 days. So in order to get playing, I either had to create a new account or I had to pay for it. So I think I bought Dawn Trail and then just I've had a subscription since then. So not maybe last August or maybe before that, I don't remember. But Teletherium, Lunar Bahamut. Wow, look at this guy. No, but I am excited that Shadowbringers, because I'm in Shadowbringers now, so I actually couldn't be on free trial if I wanted to do that. But I am excited for everyone who is on free trial, so they can play Shadowbringers now. That's always nice. Do you have any interest in joining a free company? If you don't have one, I do have one. We are max free company level with actions all the time and stuff. It'd be cool to have you. I do appreciate the invite. But yeah, Andy's friend has her free company, and I've been a part of that for a while now. But I do appreciate the invite. If that one ever dissolves, I will certainly keep you in mind. I don't know much about free company stuff, so it's quite possible that we're at max level 2, but I really wouldn't know. We usually have an action going. Good. More Heaven's Eye materia. That's exactly what I wanted. Basically, just free experience and cheap TP is the main benefits. Yeah. Free experience is always nice. Alright. Imitation or no, it would be fools to estimate it. Yeah. No kidding. Is the cheap teleport just to get back to your free company place and then teleport from anywhere else? Nope. Oh, there's actually cheap teleport. Mapping the realm. I clicked on. Alright, come on, Lunar Bahamut. I'm actually surprised we're fighting this guy so soon. I'm sure something will happen that will change it up. I doubt this is our last encounter with him, but maybe. I mean, we did just free Tiamat, so that's kind of cool. I think it's 25% less per TP. Oh, that's a pretty big deal. Are those Estinians things? No. Those look like Estinians lances to me, so I stood directly on top of one thinking, oh, that's probably not for me. No, that was 100% something I should have avoided, so. Let's use Feint here. Reconnection successful. Reconnection successful. Okay, it wasn't just you. Oh goodness, I'm dead. Oh, I didn't die, but I should have. Can you please? Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately... Oh. Yeah, unfortunately... Oh. What the heck was I supposed to do about that? Alright, it's the second time I've had to restart the stream today. This is very frustrating. Yeah, sorry, Lilac. I've been having these disconnects for the last few weeks since the last OBS update, and I don't know what to do about it. It's very, very frustrating. It happens multiple times a day, and I've changed so many settings. I've done nearly everything I can think of, and nothing is fixing it. So it might very well be possible that next week is a series of short streams to figure out what is working and what isn't. I don't know what I'd be streaming in the meantime or what I'd be doing, but I've got to do something. I can't just let this keep happening. Also, I died. There was this big like X attack that just came down, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to do to prevent that, so I have to keep an eye out on that. Maybe they yelled something at me. I'm not seeing anything being yelled at me, but I'll keep an eye out. Alright, Thancred, go do tank things. Go ahead. Anytime you're ready. Thank you. +1 willful. I don't know what that means, but... Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. We just disconnected again. Cool. Funsies. Really enjoying all of this. Okay, this, I don't know what we're doing. Okay, that's just an, like an AoE. Everyone gets hit by that. That's fine. This is what killed me the last time, I think. Well, it's about to. Okay, everybody's over here, and then... Oh, okay, I see what we're doing. This is fine. But that's a big deal. Okay, this. What is that? Okay, she just stood way over there. Oh, okay, we have to... Ah. I understand. She moved out of it. Once it landed, she moved out of it. That would make sense, I suppose, right? What the fudge is that? Oh, cool. It shrinks down to a... This fight's neat. It's a lot of cool mechanics that I've not seen before. I like learning. I don't like dying so much, but I don't mind dying when I can learn why I died. Sometimes I die and I don't know what killed me, and so it doesn't feel as good. Feint again to reduce whatever damage I can, and then just keep attacking, because what else am I going to do? Except attack. Okay, beautiful. 45%, that is... I feel like we've all been doing a lot more running than we have actual fighting. See the spears. I don't think I can make it out of here in time. I'm dead. Wow, I did not die. I should be dead for sure. I wasn't paying attention to the order in which the spears came down in, so I think that's what got me before. Oh, there's room there. There we go. Survived. Okay, I see this, so we need to hit here and then get out of it. There we go. Alphino moved into it. Alphino, I don't know what you're doing, but not useful. Maybe he was trying to heal Thancred, so he like pushed up to get in range. I don't know. Seems like as long as you don't stand in the center, it's not so bad. Alphino carves his own path, clearly. Or has a path carved through him by Lunar Bahamut. There, he's a... Feint again to reduce as much of this damage as possible. Turn on all of our Lance Charge and Bloodbath so we can try to regain as much health as possible. You're probably the healthiest of them. We did it! Hooray! I also became 100% spirit bonded with 2 of my pieces of gear, which is nice. I actually don't know what spirit bond does. I don't know if it raises some of the attributes or not. Earned that victory? Maybe. Maybe. I only died once, right? I nearly, well, no, I died twice. I nearly died a 3rd time there. Probably should have. I was like 450 health, which is nothing when you have 10 times that, 100 times that. I mean, blood, sweat, and almost tears. Yeah, I think that was well earned. It was something. 3 disconnects in the middle of it. Hey, I got an orchestration roll. Those are my favorite. Apparently my inventory is full of, or my armory is full of pants. Why do I have so many pants? World may never know. So many pants. What are all these? Oh, these are all paladin. I need to go dump some gear off at Gridania. Maybe we'll do that before we're done today. Oh, look at that. And Tiamat didn't die. She took some heavy blasts from something, but she didn't die, so that was nice. I'm glad her children of man, the shade of my beloved is no more, and I shall be forever in your debt. Lunar Bahamut was pretty short-lived, though. That was pretty crazy. Introduced in 5.4, dead in 5.5. By your deeds we are set free, and free we shall remain as long as I draw breath. Never shall the dragons of Mericidia hearken to the lies of the Asians. This I vow. Also, is this an actual language, or is it just all made up gibberish? I feel like somebody would have gone to the effort of creating a dragon language.
Noble warriors, the dragons chose their friends well.
I don't know what is happening. I don't. I think after this weekend, I'm gonna have to figure something out. I really don't know. Restarting the stream 3 times already is I really don't know what to do. All right, you would make peace with the Ul'dah, then we'd be proud to call you our allies. Then let us put the past behind us. We would be proud to call you our allies.
The enemy of our enemy is our friend. And you have proven yourselves worthy of our trust.
I'll take it.
It is the Garleans who are deserving of our fury. I shall see that my brethren learn the truth of this day, and rally as many as possible to the cause.
The cause.
Till we meet again.
And thus did we make allies of the Amalja.
It worked. Andy, did you know?
It certainly seemed that way. The Sultana will be pleased. Let's go and give her the good news, shall we?
Did you know that Estinian and the Warrior of Light Skybulbs face in opposite directions? So it looks like they're a pair, when you're sitting next to each other, it looks like a pair of dragon wings. Saw that on Reddit the other day. Yeah, pretty cool. I didn't know how it looks like dragon's wings. I just saw the flipped images. Oh, I mean, you know, it looks like a dragon. Sometime earlier inside the pack within tower, you know how dragons have 2 wings? He doesn't look like he's seeing anything good. The heck is that? Oh, it looks like an Amalja. They are Amaljas. Okay. I thought he was in like in immediate danger, but he's just kind of in shock.
What in Ralga's name happened here?
Can't really blame him. This looks creepy as hell.
The gods only know. But you can bet these poor sods aren't here by choice.
They're being used as ether batteries, right? I imagine, kind of like Matrix style. Just plugged into the Matrix.
We've got to get them free.
Good luck with that. Womp, womp, womp. Womp. Oh. Look but do not touch. I wonder if that hurt them.
What have I done?
It's too late for them. We're leaving now.
I assume what happened is like they were showing some, like the system thought they were showing some kind of resistance, so killed them. Or is causing them pain. Or it's just using them as an ether battery in order to activate some self-defense mechanism. I feel like look but don't touch is always the rule in these creepy places. Like, why would you just start touching things? Oh. Whoa. It's Lunar Ifrit?
No. No! Don't you dare! We came together and we're leaving together.
So you sacrificed your... I don't... What the heck was that? That's not how that works. I guess he is like the tank of the party. Maybe. Anyway. He likes Fordola more than you do. Seems like that's a thing, yeah. While it would be too much to hope that we have seen the last of Fandaniel, we have dealt his schemes a telling blow to this day, and that alone is cause to celebrate. Do each of the towers house a different lunar icon? We had Lunar Bahamut, that for sure looked like Lunar Ifrit, right? Are we just gonna fight lunar versions of the same icons again? Or primals? They're the same thing. The Empire calls them icons, we call them primals, whatever. And celebrate I will, when we have received word of Arenvald's safe return. Uh-oh. Well, I hate to tell you, but I don't think... Oh, I'm not sure he's going to have a safe return. You may now enter a pack... Oh yeah, the trust system. Okay, this is the last quest for this 5.5, when the dust settles. Hopefully we can finish this without another disconnect, and I can go cry in a corner somewhere. Alphino is minded to share his account of the events that unfolded in Paglathon with the Sultana. Crossing all the fingers and toes. Me too. I've analyzed 3 logs today, and none of them have come up with anything. Standing around here worrying is not going to help matters. Come, we must discuss the day's events with Pippin and her grace. Can you send me one of them? Sure, I'll send you one right now. Well, now it won't matter because it's a new... It's a new... stream. Upload previous log file. Copy the log URL for you. Send it to you right now. There you go. Fun. Brave Scions. Brave Scions. This is the one that... Sorry, anticlimactic, I know, but... that's the one, actually. It's shorter. It doesn't have all the stupid tags on it. Here we go. That's the one that I took after the first short disconnect. And it just told me, thank you for that early Christmas gift, you're welcome. Anytime. Would that I could treat you to a hero's welcome, but I bear urgent news from the... What? Frontistery? What is that? What is a frontistery? This is the second word I've had to look up today. Frontistery. Obscure words and vocabulary resources. Thank you. English obscure words. Don't just tell me what it is. A place for thinking. Okay, cool. Thanks. Useful. Your Grace, whatever is the matter? As our troops withdrew from Palgathon, they came upon the 2 scouts sent to the tower to the nearby tower. I have yet to hear a full account, but it seems that one of them, your friend I believe, had been wounded and was being dragged away by the other. Oh no. I must go. Forgive me, Your Grace. Alphino's off to check on his friend. I will say, Alphino cares deeply for people, you know? It is good to see. Can you tell us aught of Arnvald's condition, Your Grace? The wounded scout? Not save that it is grave. The Chirurgeons tend to him even as we speak. The infirmary must be inundated with the wounded. If all of us go, we'll only get underfoot. Dion, Estinian, would you mind going after Alphino? He may need some support from someone other than me. He does, I agree with you. They've developed his character so well over the years. Yeah. I love the twins. I think they're great. Very well. Thank you. The rest of us will see that the relevant people know what took place in Palgathon. Palgathon. Galthan. Fraggle Rock. Come on, then. Kind of funny. The same thing happened with Alphino and Estinian, right? Estinian was injured fighting, I think it was Nidhogg, and Alphino was there waiting in his bed. Where do you want me to go? I have no idea where it wants me to go. Hustings Strip, I guess. I think. I don't... Alchemist Guild. Wrong way. Never been over here. Ever, I think.
Who's that Pokemon?
Frontistery, Chirurgeon. Another one come to see the lad in silver armor. Master Demio is attending to him as we speak. If you would be so kind as to wait. What did Master Demio say? Tell me his exact words. Enough, Alphino. This isn't helping. Let the Chirurgeons do their work. But you're right. Forgive me. When we said our farewells in Arnvald, I was afraid that something like this might happen. Me too, actually. I'm pretty sure I voiced that out loud. But now that it has, all we can do is wait. That's exactly right. All we can do is wait. In OBS, what's your settings? Advanced network bind to IP setting? It's bound to my public IP setting, but it wasn't before. Before it was set to default when all this started happening. Well, that's not entirely true.
Have you been waiting here all this time?
It was set to default originally when I was having connection issues, and then I switched it to binding to an IP, and it's fixed the issues. And then in this latest OBS update, for whatever reason, it got sent back to default, and then I started having issues, and then I bound it. I've been binding it to different IPs, trying to get it to fix something, and nothing is fixing itself. So it's set to IPv6 only, and it's set to my current public IP setting, or public IP address at this moment, but it's been on multiples before, so I mean, I'll switch it back to default after this just because it says that OBS is like, well, it's not necessary, but I don't know what is necessary. Almost definitely want to go to IPv4 only. Why IPv4 over 6?
We have done what we can. The rest is up to him.
May we see him?
I mean, happy to change it. I need to check to see what...
I do not think that wise. You must let him sleep.
I think before it was set to IPv4 or IPv6. I mean, I'm happy to change it back. I feel like I've changed that too. But I'm willing to do anything over again. Whatever.
He owes you his life.
I'll do it before we...
I just...
Or I'll do it after we end today.
I just wish I had been there. Perhaps... I don't know. Perhaps I could have...
Smack. Oh, push instead.
Could have what?
Hi, baby.
Got tempered? Don't flatter yourself. You can't save everyone. No one can. Not even the warrior.
Oda, you're a little high right now. I'm sorry.
People die all the time, for no good reason. And those who take up the sword die quicker than most. If you're going to shed a tear every time a soldier falls on the battlefield, you'd best stay away. It's no place for the weak of heart.
That's not the lesson to take away from that, Fordola. Stick to, I don't know,
It may be.
being a dirtbag.
Victory cannot be won without cost.
You're gonna stand up for yourself,
But
Alphino.
all life is precious, and I refuse to shrug at its loss.
Push her back. Kick her in her lady gonads.
All life is precious. Oh, you need to grow up, little man. Before your sparkling ideals get everyone killed.
You just like Fordola. What a wonderful word, gonads. It is a good word, isn't it?
You're right. He is idealistic. But the world has more than its fair share of realists, like you and me. It's people like him who dare to dream that things could be better and make it happen against all the odds. They are the ones whose names live on forever. The heroes.
The heroes.
The battlefield's littered with would-be heroes. At this rate, you'll lot'll be next. And what'll become of your precious dreams then?
Who knows, really?
They'll be gone. Like dust on the wind.
Dreams worth fighting for don't die so easily.
I like how Alphino's kind of rubbing off on Estinian. Alphino's the one that's looked up to him up to this point, but Estinian is defending Alphino. It's really nice. I'm telling you, the character writing in this game is generally very good. I really dislike... I mean, again, I know I've critiqued characters like Xenos and critiqued characters like Fordola because I just don't like them, right? Like, I just don't... I don't like them. But I really do believe that they provide this necessary foil. They provide the comparison necessary to show, like, the growth and the depth of other characters. And so, as much as I dislike those characters, I feel like my dislike for Xenos and Fordola are a little bit different. I don't like them as people, but I also dislike the way that they've kind of... My reconnection... Okay, we were successful, thank goodness. If we weren't successful, I was probably just going to be done. And within the expansion... I'm sorry, you were saying even when they introduce brand new characters like Kian or Emmett or Harshavant, they're fleshed out so quickly? Yes. And within an expansion, you feel like you know them, even like characters that have been around for ages. I agree. I agree. Yeah, no, I think so too. I think so too. To Fordola's point, I know it makes you sound like a bad person, but I don't think... I think Fordola has had enough chances early on And yes, they wrote her to be like the hero at the end of, what is it, 4-5 or something like that, or 4-4. I don't agree with that, honestly. Like, I don't know how many chances a person deserves. She kind of reminds me of, I mean, in this day and age, I know it sounds really terrible to say, but it sounds like minorities becoming members of ICE, you know? That's kind of how I feel about Fordola, right? Like, she literally betrayed her own people. She murdered her own people in order to side with, like, the fascists. It's very hard for me to forgive anything like that. And again, maybe that's a personal flaw. Maybe that's just like me versus, you know, anything else. So maybe I'll just never agree with that. But yeah, I don't think she has a great excuse for her actions, which can be said for Yotsuyu as well. Yeah, exactly. I think Yotsuyu is a good example as well. But I don't know. I think Xenos is a little boring. I think he's just very one-dimensional. I don't know if that's necessarily a flaw of the character or not. I just think he's boring. He doesn't appeal to me as much. Fordola, though, I kind of just dislike. Fandaniel, on the other hand, is written incredibly, like, intriguing, right? He's obviously an evil, not good person, but the way he's written is fantastic. So, Xenos is a drag, yeah. It's like every time he's on screen, I just can't wait till he's not anymore. I know. There's nothing more I can do here. Come, let us rejoin the others. I wasn't going to say that at all. I was going to be like, I'll wait for you here if you want. Her Grace invites the Scions of the Seventh Dawn to join her in the fragrant chamber. Your comrades have already arrived. Will the three of you be joining them? We will. Currently in Fordola's mind, the ideas of like acceptance and grieving are mutually exclusive. You know, like she's decided that by accepting the fact that people die and like watching people die, that means she shouldn't feel bad for it when it happens, right? She hasn't come to terms with the fact that they can coexist, and they should coexist. They have to coexist, because otherwise you just lose part of your humanity.
A close comrade of yours was wounded in the line of duty, Arenvold. It was at the Alliance's behest that he risked all, and we are grieved to hear of his condition. Rest assured, he will receive the finest care our chirurgeons can provide. On that you have my word.
Thanks.
Now, we would share with you the findings of the mission. Pippin, pray relate to our guests the details of Fordola's account.
Oh, Andy, do we ever get a name for that dapper gentleman who's...
Now Ifrit. Or Luna Ifrit, as Fandaniel would doubtless have it.
Do we ever learn the name of the Lullafellan gentleman who's taken over, or the paladin that's taken over Pippin's spot as, like, the Queen's protector? Now that Pippin is, like, Marshal of the Armies, he was gone, and there's this, like, cool Lullafellan paladin that was with, her, the Empress. What do we call her? I forget. I don't recall, actually. Hopefully we get a name for him. He deserves a name. He was too spiffy to not get named. Sultana, that's what we call her.
That the towers were conceived to facilitate the summoning of primals by those imprisoned within. Less certain is the means by which the Telophoroi constrain the wills of said entities to enact their designs in defiance of the pleas of their victims.
Mayhap they do not. If mere proximity to the towers is enough to make loyal servants of the Empire's mortal enemies, it stands to reason that the same is true for those held captive. They invoke their gods for the good of Garlemald, and in their disturbed state of mind, summon a primal whose form reflects their own alteration.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that's interesting. I was thinking that they were like capturing summoned primals and turning them to their will. But Ystol is implying that it's actually the opposite. Garlemald has found a way to kind of enthrall the people and then forcing the people to summon their own primal, who are then in turn kind of enthralled to Garlemald, like under the control of Fan Daniel for the most part. Huh. I wonder how that's happening. So we still haven't like it's not great. It's not great, but it's interesting. I thought it was reversed. So we still haven't discovered that connection. We still don't know how Garlemald is like enthralling the people to do that. Fascinating.
It all begins to make sense. Upon closer inspection, I realized that the towers bear a striking resemblance to a much larger structure which Urianger and I observed from afar during our visit to the Imperial capital.
Yeah, the palace, right? That they're constructing?
Assuming it too is capable of tempering those in its immediate vicinity, it would go some way to explain the swiftness with which the Telophoroi managed to rally so many Imperials to their cause.
Interesting. So it's kind of funny. Earlier they mentioned that like enthrallment to a city or to a country is like a new concept, but it's actually, I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like Alexander itself has been a part of the Final Fantasy franchise for years, has been a summon. It's like, it is more or less a summoned city, right? Alexander has existed as both a location and as an icon before, or a primal, or a summon, or a guardian, or whatever you want to call them, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Call them what you want, but it's not a new thing in the new slang unlocked, not intentionally for sure. I'm too old to be inventing slang. So that concept is not necessarily new within the franchise. It might be new within the 14, you know, lore itself, but it's a concept that we've seen before. It could also very well be it feels a little like a stretch, but I wonder if Garlemald itself is an icon of that like level. We know that the Ascians founded Garlemald, right? I wonder if Garlemald is kind of just like a Zodiark by another name, so to speak. I wonder if inside this big old tower they have Zodiark, right? The tower that they're constructing. Zodiark exists. We've only ever seen Zodiark be interacted with by the Ascians in some like dark location, which could be like a location between worlds. We know that Zodiark, that their whole plan is to bring Zodiark back. But I don't know if it's Zodiark himself or whether it's another, like Garlemald itself is an icon of sorts. That being said, the Garlemald is, which I guess kind of in a way makes sense. Like Garlemald doesn't have magic, right? They are not able to manipulate ether. I wonder if it might very well be because of their connection to another icon. I don't know. I'm probably just like stretching here at this point. But something is inside the tower that's able to enthrall the people, and the people are able to summon their other icons or their primals, and then the primals are immediately enthralled to Garlemald. Garlemald has to be something, right? It has to be some. It could just be another manipulation of the echoes that they've tried to do. Fan Daniel is an Ascian. He might know something. I think you're generally on the right track. Generally is good enough for me. I'm sure it'll all be explained soon. I don't have to guess at all.
While the situation in Garlemald is indeed troubling, I fear we have more immediate concerns.
This tempering definitely feels different than many we've seen, for sure.
Ifrit was not the only primal summoned. At approximately the same time, observers at several other towers bore witness to the emergence of further such entities.
Andy, I kind of feel like you at this point. Like, if I never see the original primals again, I'm going to be happy. Like, Lunar Bahamut was cool, but now I have to fight the other lunar primals again? Like, Jesus, man. Like, can we move on? Can we do something else? Like, use our imagination. I don't know. And again, I guess in my mind, I've always justified it to say, like, this has happened over, like, years for people. So it doesn't feel like they're seeing the same primals really just, like, back to back to back. But at the same time, as, like, as an experienced player, it would really hate for me to... I would hate it if I was waiting years and be like, oh, man, what's the next big thing? And then it's like, Ifrit again. What if we just turned Ifrit purple? Like, Jesus, man, like, really? Can we like, do something new? At the same time, they are introducing a lot of new characters. Like Eden was new, right? They're introducing new concepts, and they're just like recycling the old stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad, but playing them back to back like this, I agree, it is getting a little grating.
Approaching the destructive power of Bahamut. And the Grand Companies are moving to deal with the threat even as we speak.
Yeah, and these primals aren't even able to enthrall people, so they can actually be fought by normal individuals. I say normal, that sounds bad, but you know what I mean. People without the echo, individuals without the echo. You only need to tell me where they are, Your Grace. The Grand Companies, Your Grace. Is that wise? You need only tell me where they are. You know where they are. We can see the towers from miles away.
Though we are aware that the task will not be easy, we would call upon the Scions only as a last resort. Pray, conserve your strength for now.
Also, could you imagine how confusing this would be for, like,
it was not so very long ago that you rid us of Bahamut.
everyone?
On which note, I am pleased to report that our talks with the Amalja have reached an agreeable conclusion. They have pledged their full support to our cause.
Like, wait, we can fight these primals, but not normal primals? Like, that would just be so weird. That's just complicated.
It is our hope that this historic agreement will encourage other tribes to join us at the negotiating table. And I
Disorienting for sure, yeah.
the allied leaders when I say that we will welcome them with open arms at such time as they do.
Also, could you imagine, like, your... Could you imagine your leaders or your commanders coming to you and telling you that it's like... like, oh, this primal's fine. You're not... this one won't hurt you. You won't be enthralled by this one. Like, would you even believe them? Would you even believe that was the case? You're just like, okay, they're sending us to our deaths, right? Like, there's primals all over the world. The Scions can't be everywhere at once. The Warrior of Light's doing the best he can, but we've got to hold back this guy as much as possible. Like, we're all just dying, you know? We're all going to be enthralled by the end of this. You just assume it was a suicide mission and they were lying to you. There's no way you'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. These are new primals, the lunar version. Like, what? No, it would never happen that way. Also being like, boo, primals, we hate primals, and then finding out Hydaelyn is a primal. Yeah, the literal planet you're living on, the Earth you're living on, and Louis Swall, the savior of the world, who defeated Bahamut in the first place, also turned into it's a complicated world they lived in, for sure.
Of course, this was only made possible by the feats of heroism performed at Paglfan. Moreover, we shall not allow the sacrifices of those fallen in battle to have been made in vain. As hope leads to victory, shall victory lead to a new dawn for Eorzea.
Also, could you imagine, like, in their world, the type of conspiracies they would have? There'd be, like, the conspiracy theorists shouting on the street, saying all this for real, like, sharing the truth with people, and they'd be treated like absolute pariahs, like, just ostracized from their communities, and then it all comes out to be true in the end. The vindication that they'd feel probably after years of shouting. Be crazy.
May these words ever be our guide, Your Grace.
Ever be our guide.
Now, if you will forgive me, I must consult with the Syndicate on the matter of our new allies' integration. Till next we meet, my friends, I bid you safe travels and blessed respite.
Look at Ishgard asking its people to believe that actually men were in the wrong the whole time. Yeah. Like, talking about Iceheart and, oh, what's her name? Hydaelyn, or I just remember Iceheart because Estinian mentioned earlier, but like, Yeah, they were right. You know, the cultists were the ones that were kind of right in the first place. That it wasn't the dragons at all that betrayed us. And then everybody's got to turn around and be like, "Oh man, sorry, we like killed so many of you. That sucks." Well, whoops. No, talk to Alize. I don't care about you ever, Oriange. Ever. All right. Ever. Right then, unless anyone has any objections, I think it's about time we return to the Rising Stones. Something's gonna come up. It never goes easy. Alphino is not gonna return to the Rising Stones, I doubt. And that includes you, Alphino. Ironball is in good hands here. I will say he could lose the little tie. I like Alphino a lot. The little tie is a little weird. Of course, he would doubtless mock me for pacing about the infirmary. Let us retire then, that we might regain our strength and readiness for the coming challenges. Never mind, Alphino's gonna go ahead and bow out. Good for him. If all are in agreement then, I shall let Kryl know to expect us. The hot bath and a hearty meal shouldn't be beyond arranging with the time available. Where's our meanwhile in Garlemald? It's coming soon, I'm sure. It will be good to be home. I have some thinking to do. Ooh, is he going to unlock the Sage mode early? Are we going to get Sage in 555? Yes, I'll try asking him. Then thank you. I shall look forward to it. Our comrades eagerly await our return, and Kryl in particular has a few matters she is keen to discuss, one of which concerns you, Estinian. Believe it or not, you will join us, won't you? Oh man, I think he only has the tie because you are back in the source. In the first, I don't think he had it. You know what? I don't remember either, but he could lose the tie. We got Red Mage at the end of like 2.x, right? So there's a good chance we're going to get Sage at the end of 5.x. Hopefully a Sage initiation involves burning the tie. I imagine he's got to get a new get up, right? Sinian, fine. Really? I thought you said you were avoiding the Bladesian woman, or that Bladesian woman. If I refuse, she would only pursue me. That's true. Let's get this over with, shall we? I don't know what the catalyst is for. I mean, I don't. For Alize, we kind of got a little bit of a catalyst for why she did the whole Red Mage thing, right? There was a little bit of a lead up to it. I don't feel like we've gotten any kind of lead up to Alphino in Sage mode, which is weird. I mean, there might be some in 5.5, so we'll see how it works out. But or it might not happen until somewhere in 5. I don't know. Although we got Thancred as Gunbreaker immediately, right? I mean, we got it in the opening cutscene essentially. Thancred didn't get Gunbreaker until 5.0 though, right? There was no lead up to that. Well, to be fair, he was just like whisked away to the first, so there really wasn't much to be done there. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. It doesn't matter. It'll come. Really irrelevant. Enter the Rising Stones. Extremely relevant, is it?
Welcome back. I expect you must all be exhausted. Ere you take your rest, however, I would beg a moment of your time.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Arenvold's selfless efforts,
I guess it is
now
not.
be confident
I mean,
we understand the function of the towers. But many questions
how it happens
remain regarding
is
the reason for the summonings and what lurks behind the looming edifice in Garlemald.
in this case, I guess it's less important to the fact that it's happening at all.
Until such questions are answered, we will struggle to devise an effective strategy for thwarting the Telophoroi's stated aim. Nothing less than the destruction of this star.
And so, given the gravity of the situation, I move that we petition the aid of Sharlayan.
Is everyone shocked about that?
'Tis possible the ancient knowledge preserved within our archives may hide a clue to our enemy's methods. But given Sharlayan's established policy of non-intervention, our former colleagues are not like to aid us in its discovery.
I assume they're probably ostracized too, right?
Oh, I well remember what they're like. The Forum's barefaced refusal to assist you in the days prior to the calamity must rank as Sharlayan's most shameful act since the Exodus.
Maybe don't tell
were
them
the
that.
final days to be reenacted, it would spell doom
They're
for us
definitely
all.
the Swiss.
Surely even they cannot turn a blind eye to that. I trust we are all of the same mind on this matter. Urgent as it seemed, I took the liberty of petitioning the Alliance for leave to act as Eorzea's emissary, and have since received their blessing.
Look at Cryle taking initiative.
I presume your role as a student of Baldessian will carry some weight with the Forum?
Probably very little.
One can but hope. If truth be told, our organization has been a shadow of its former self ever since the disappearance of the Isle of Val.
Oh yeah, that's never been brought up again.
It does still retain some degree of prestige. I only pray it will be enough.
That happened in like 2.x content where the Isle of Val just like completely disappeared. Have they addressed that at all? Minfilia was still a Scion, was still like the leader of the Scions when that happened, and like nothing has come of it that we know of, or that I know of anyway. It's side content, is it? Oh man, okay, so I mean, I imagine that makes sense, that I would have just missed it rather than it not existing itself. But yeah, it's just not been mentioned. It's the Eureka content from Stormblood. Oh,
If there are no
okay.
objections, I shall depart for Sharlayan at once. But before I do, I should also mention the other matter to which I would devote some time during my stay.
Is this their way of just getting rid of Cryle again for an entire expansion? But agree, it's like, how is nobody talking about the fact that a whole island vanished? I guess there's always bigger fish to fry in Eorzea. Yeah, there's like, I guess we're more concerned about the things coming to Eorzea to destroy us than the things disappearing from Eorzea that weren't going to help us anyway.
After hearing what transpired in the first, I began to question the true nature of Hydaelyn's blessing. A topic I have discussed
Yeah,
at
bye,
some
Cryle.
length with Y'shtola.
We'll see you in Dawn Trail when you become a
We were
Pictomancer.
wondering, when was the last time Hydaelyn spoke to you directly?
It's ages ago. Near the end of the Dragon Song War. Yeah. That day in the Crystarium. The day in the Crystarium. I'm just gonna say the first one.
When you regained her blessing, was it not? But never since. Not in all your time in the first.
Nope.
When you faced the Unsundered, the very heart of Zodiark.
That's all correct.
History shows us that Hydaelyn is able to awaken the echo in her chosen, convey her will directly, and grant the blessing of light. To our knowledge, however, she has not sought to intervene in man's affairs for some considerable time.
Maybe she can't.
Might not the explanation for that lie with her choice of champion? Mayhap she is content to trust in his judgment.
Mayhaps she is. But following my initial discussion with Cryle, I made inquiries of my own, and as far as I am able to tell, Hydaelyn has not made her will known to anyone.
During my time in the First, the Oracle of Light spoke to me through Reen. But that was not the will of Hydaelyn. It was Minfilia herself.
Right.
Indeed. And while she and Hydaelyn were inextricably linked, Minfilia yet acted of her own volition. A messenger, yes, but one who spoke with her own voice.
I wonder, could Hydaelyn's silence suggest the presence of some disruptive force, perhaps? Some obstacle to communication? While I share Urianger's high opinion of your conduct, I see no reason why she would deny you her guidance altogether.
The implication would be that she can't
Then
communicate
again,
with us,
who
right?
am I to say?
Not that she
The
wouldn't.
fact is, we simply don't know. But if the explanation is to be found anywhere, I can think of worse places to look than the archives of Sharlayan, and their research on the Ethereal Sea in particular.
Because it really was weird. We had a lot of communication with Hydaelyn in 2.0, right? During the initial campaign. And then we had quite a bit of communication with her. Well, we were severed from her at some point, right? We kind of like gave up some of her power to, maybe it was to summon Midgard Samir. We gave up some of her power for something. I don't remember exactly what it was. And then we regained it over time, like they were saying, towards the end of the Dragon Song Wars when we were actually reconnected with her. And then pretty much since then, like we've not had any communication. So the implication would probably be that you can't, or that she can't, not that she wouldn't or doesn't want to. It has been a while.
Resolved though I am to go, believe me when I say that I take no pleasure in the thought of leaving you a member short. Now, of all times. Estinian, we stand on the eve of a struggle that will decide the fate of this star. One in which we Scions may play a telling part, yet we are but few in number.
Ryle's recruiting Estinian here.
And so I must ask you again, will you join us?
That look.
You see the world the way you want it to be. I see the world the way it is. You are idealistic to a fault. But I know you would never turn your back on those in need. Never close your eyes to their suffering. And somehow, your deeds lend truth to your words, giving the lie to my doubts in so doing. I have seen others draw strength from your belief. In Ishgard, in Alamigo, you inspired them to stand up and fight. To win, no less. And even when you lost those you held dear, you carried their spirit with you and made their memory your guiding light. The burden of so many hopes and dreams would be too heavy for most to bear. But you bear it willingly, as you have shown me. Some dreams are too important to let go.
Let's take roll here. Jay Quellen.
If you have need of my strength, it's yours. After all you've done, how could I refuse?
Thank you, Estinian. Whatever challenges await us, I shall not falter. You have my word.
And now, I may bid you farewell. Safe in the knowledge that all is as it should be. In this little corner of the world, at least.
You will be sorely missed. Tread warily in Sharlayan.